Hey, Nick.
Hi, Tys.
What's happening, my man?
Oh, you know, things.
Getting into the October spirit. We're nearly there, my
We're
man.
almost there. We're almost there.
Yeah.
Oh, this is going to be fun.
1 week away from our spookisodes. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Nick, Tys and Videotape. Welcome.
Hello.
We are, of course, we cannot contain our excitement because we are about to start our October spookisodes.
That's right. We
Very
like to watch a lot of horror movies.
Yeah.
And I have started not watching horror. Well, I do. I watch horror movies normally, but
Now you started to save them?
started to save them. Is that weird?
No. I haven't really stopped either way. I think
Yeah.
I've just, if I decide I want to watch a horror movie, I've been watching a horror movie. But October, I exclusively watch horror movies.
Yeah. Well, the only I've It Chapter 2 has come out. Obviously,
Yes.
revert back to our last episode where we did 1990s It,
The miniseries.
the miniseries.
Indeed.
But I haven't got around to seeing Chapter 2 yet. I'm
Me
seeing
neither.
it this week or next week.
Cool.
I just had a look and the runs are kind of tethering out. And I'm like, what's going on? Anyway, I'm going to watch that. And also, what came to my attention, and a lot of people that have been putting, I've been hearing a lot of buzz around Midsummer, which is the guy who brought out Hereditary, which was my favourite movie of last year.
Yes.
So I have to see this. And I only watched the trailer. The trailers have been out for ages. I only watched the trailer because the movie's out. It's been out since,
definitely.
since July.
There's even a director's extended cut coming out soon.
Yeah, right.
At Nova, I think.
Yeah, I saw that. So I was like, oh, well, I have to watch this. And it's only happened that I'm going to watch it in October.
Perfection.
Lovely.
Well, we're not doing a horror movie today, though,
Not yet.
Nicholas.
Not
We've
yet.
got one of our regular episodes left before we hit our spookisodes. But we'll tell you all about what's coming up in October
right.
later in the show. Today, though, we're talking about the 1992 Best Picture winner.
Best Picture winner.
Clint Eastwood's.
Rightfully so.
Probably, I want to say his masterpiece, but that's just me.
It kind of is. No, I agree with you there. I'm going to take that away.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Well, we're talking Unforgiven.
Unforgiven. Not the Metallica song.
No, not the Unforgiven. Unforgiven. No, that's not how it goes.
The Unforgiven.
That's it.
Okay.
That's that. Is that one song that anybody, when they first buy a guitar, plays because it's just the open strings?
Yeah, 100%.
Boom, 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 boom.
No,
we're not talking about that. We're talking about the 1992 Western, directed by and starring Clint Eastwood.
Yep.
Gene Hackman, Morgan Freeman.
Yep.
Written by David Webb Peoples, who we're going to talk a little bit about as well because he
has a lot to do with this.
Yeah, well, and he's also responsible for a couple of my favourites.
Oh, really?
Kind of, yeah. Also a guilty pleasure favourite movie of mine that we might talk a little bit about later.
I like that. And this is a buy request, I believe. Is this a buy request?
It's kind of by request. Luke Watford said, hey, get off your asses and do a Clint Eastwood movie, and we obliged.
Fair deal. Okay.
So here we are with, giving the cat away. No, that's not the saying at all. Letting the cat out of the bag a little early.
We gave the cat away and we got back a dog.
It's my favourite Clint Eastwood movie. So this will be a bit of a love-in, I think, today. Which, I enjoy. I enjoy just talking about a fucking great movie.
Yeah. Well, we'll get to it later. I saw Unforgiven the first time. I think I wasn't at the video store, but it's on every list. Unforgiven is so high up there, especially because it is a Best Picture winner. And when I watched it, I was like, oh yeah, but this time was very different. But we'll get into that later.
We will get to that later. Nick, why don't you tell the people at home where they can find our show?
Well, thanks for joining us, ladies and gents. It is almost Halloween. Do you carve a pumpkin? Who knows? But while you carve that pumpkin, why not jump onto iTunes and subscribe? Did you like that?
Yeah, nice. That's podcast consumption
exactly.
is all so you can listen to something while you're doing other shit.
Exactly. My wife works out while listening to podcasts.
I do.
I couldn't do that.
You need some pump and jams?
I can't. Yeah, I need someone screaming at me. I need some hardcore screams while I work out.
Yeah,
I listen to podcasts either on the drive or cleaning the house.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, or on the walk to work.
There you go. Nice.
But yes, thank you for joining in. Subscribe on Apple Podcasts because it helps our algorithm a lot.
It does.
But any place you choose to listen to podcasts, just look us up and subscribe on there, and we thank you.
We do thank you.
But other than that, jump on the socials: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all of those things. We are on YouTube, and jump on. I'm going to plug it every single time because Letterboxd, I was just telling Tys before recording, I look at Letterboxd now that more so than I look at Facebook.
Which is amazing.
And that's great. I like movies, so I love scrolling through the years. One of my favourite things is to look by year and just to scroll through
just to look at all the posters.
What do people...
I love it.
What do people think about this? What do people think about this? So yeah, jump on Letterboxd. You can follow Tys and myself. Tys is TYS_videotape and I am Nick_videotape.
That's it.
But other than that,
that's all of it.
That's all.
Socials?
Socials we did.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Well, then let's move on
to
Talkin Trailers.
Talkin Trailers.
Yeah.
Everybody's talking
trailers.
All right.
All right.
So there's talk in the air.
There is.
That Adam Sandler
Good Lord.
could be nominated for an Oscar.
Well, it's not is it not let's not jump that ship
All
just
right.
yet. It's a little too Nick eager. It's very Nick eager.
But this is the talk. This is the talk in the world.
Man.
It's a good trailer.
So the trailer we're talking about is Uncut Gems.
That is correct.
Let's watch that.
How you doing, Holly? How's it going? How are you?
Good Pesach out.
All right, Larry, you're a Jew again. Welcome back.
I made a crazy risk. We gambled. And it's about to pay off.
So I want the Celtics to cover. I want the Celtics halftime. I want Garnett points and rebounds.
What do you know?
I don't know. I just know.
Well, I'll tell you what I know. That's the dumbest fucking bet I ever heard of.
I disagree. Gary.
What is that?
I started it.
Are you serious? You're taking my money all over town, placing bets.
I'm having very serious second thoughts.
Are you serious right now?
I know I fucked up.
Howard, where's the money right now?
Howard, got my money?
Is it too late? I'm done. That means nothing. It meant nothing. Please. Give me another shot.
Well, we just watched it.
Okay. Who are these directors?
Now, these guys directed a movie from about 2 years ago called Good Time.
Right.
Which starred Robert Pattinson.
Okay.
And was reviewed exceptionally well and has very good word of mouth.
Okay.
About it.
Another brothers combo?
Yeah.
So it's the
brothers combo is coming strong.
Safdie brothers.
And so this is their follow-up to that. Okay. It's Adam Sandler starring as just a gambling guy, I guess, who kind of gets himself caught up in a...
He almost looks like a runner, like he's the one that runs the money from the drug lord to the bank.
Sure.
Almost. And what he does with that money is he places bets with the money that he has that's not his.
Yeah.
And collects that money.
Right, so it's a bit of a...
But he looks shady as hell. Like this guy... Yeah, he looks dodge. Like Adam Sandler transformed from the water boy to a guy that I would not want to cross the street.
No, look,
I'd cross the street to avoid him.
I did, when watching it, I did think that he kind of looked like recent Steven Seagal.
Yes.
The way he looks in all these direct-to-DVD films when he wears those terrible glasses.
And that stupid, what is he doing with his hair now? Because the ponytail's gone, but it's kind of slicked back.
Yeah, he just slicks back what little hair he has left. That was the vibe I got from Adam Sandler in this, yeah.
A bad Steven Seagal.
And I don't know much else about this movie. It's a really nicely put together trailer that makes you go, yeah, that's a movie I'd like to watch.
Yeah.
Having said that, the reviews have been extraordinary, and so that's where the excitement for this movie comes from, because people are actually talking about the fact that Adam Sandler is kind of in the running for an Oscar.
Who knew?
Well, I mean, we saw Punch Drunk Love. And
I still haven't seen that.
Okay. Look, it's a really different Adam Sandler performance, and that's kind of the whole vibe of that, is that it was P.T. Anderson kind of was able to get a really unique performance out of Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
Whether or not he's actually any good is kind of still up for debate. I think it could be one of those things where you put him in the right role with the right director, you might kind of just, lightning might strike.
Okay. I watched it was recent. It was him with Dustin Hoffman. The Meyerowitz stories.
Yeah.
I actually watched that. That was actually quite good.
I heard that was good.
And he was quite good in that.
Yeah, look, I for a while I kind of liked Adam Sandler, but I've got to be honest, I have stayed away from pretty much any movies released in the last 10 years or so.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Because it's waffle. I'm not a fan of him dressing up as a woman.
No, I don't need to see Jack or Jill.
Jack or Jill.
I think for a little while there, I was a lot more accepting of him as an actor and a bit more willing to go along with it and go, look, what do you got for me?
What do you got? Yeah.
And I quite enjoyed funny people. It had its faults, but I enjoyed it overall.
I didn't think that was fun. I didn't like that.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. Fair enough. I can absolutely see that opinion.
Yeah. I just didn't think it was funny. Like a movie that's called Funny People, the funniest thing in it was Eric Bana.
Eric Bana was great in that movie. You're right. Porter. Yeah, and so I think that might have been the last. God, I'm going out on a limb. Oh, I watched That's My Boy because I really like Andy Samberg. So.
Oh, right. Was that good?
No. No, but it's got some funny moments in it. But aside from that, I'm not sure I've watched an Adam Sandler movie since
Bulletproof.
Then. Oh.
Which I will go to bat for.
Oh my God, Bulletproof.
Any day of the week. I love Bulletproof. I think it's great.
I used to watch that movie a lot when I was a teenager.
And Wedding Singer, man.
Wedding Singer's a classic.
Store, bang, Wedding Singer's on. Singer's on.
See, I used to like Adam Sandler, but now I think I've just kind of switched off. Yeah, so I see this trailer and I get interested.
Nah.
But I'm not knocking down the door of this thing.
Yeah, exactly. Of course you're not. Yeah, I tuned out right around, because I watched a lot, and then I tuned out right around Click.
I have not seen Click.
2006. And then I was done. I'm not going to watch You Don't Mess with the Zohan.
No, I didn't watch that.
I'm not going to watch Grown Ups.
No, stayed well away from all of those things.
Yeah.
I haven't watched a single one of his Netflix originals, like The Ridiculous Six.
I watched Men, Women and Children, but that had him in it, wasn't it? So it's Adam Sandler film. Do you remember Men, Women and Children?
No.
Jason Reitman?
No.
That was, the trailer looked really good.
Okay.
I watched it. It was okay.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, no. This, on the other hand, I will seek this out. I will seek it out and I will watch it.
So is it, as far as like him giving a particular kind of performance, is it just that they've put... Is it just that no one's thought before to put Adam Sandler's energy into a kind of gritty crime, high-intensity crime thriller, and he's still just doing his... Because to me, that's what it kind of looks like. It kind of just looks like he's Adam Sandlering all over the joint.
Really?
Except it's not in a comedy.
No, it's in a
like a high anxiety role where it's like you get the feeling that this movie is a lot of high stakes. Like whatever he's decided that he's betting on, and he's got some tip that this is going to come through, is basically if it doesn't come through, it's his butt.
It's his life. Yeah, he's dealing. Yeah, and that's the way that he plays. Like he has that line in the trailer, like at the end where this is how I play, sort of thing. This is what I do.
Yeah.
You're seeing his personal life go to shit. Like, not really go to shit, but it's ups and downs.
Sure. Idina Menzel.
It's Vegas. It's Idina Menzel. It's a lot of money, a lot of cash, a lot of hotels.
So, you know what I mean, though? Maybe somebody should have just thought of this earlier and said, hey, Adam Sandler's got a really weird energy. Why don't we put it in a thriller and see what happens?
Well, I know just from... I don't know how I know this, but Adam Sandler is well off. He doesn't have to work ever.
Oh, no.
Ever again.
No, I wouldn't think so.
I think it's him just wanting to try different things, which I think it's... Especially if Funny People... When we brought that up, his character in Funny People, I took that away as this is Adam Sandler, kind of the character that is him. If there ever was someone, he's got a truckload of stuff. He doesn't know what to do with it. He gets bored because he's done so many things. You know, he doesn't need to work anymore, all of that stuff. So I feel that if that is him now, this is just him trying things that he's never done before.
And look, he's probably...
hence why
he's earned that right.
The Meyerowitz stories and this.
Yeah.
You know.
Whether or not you even... you're interested in any of these Netflix movies.
Yeah.
He's a savvy businessman. Netflix has paid him an absolute fortune to make, what is it, 6 or 7, I think, direct-to-Netflix comedies?
7, yeah.
I mean, that is a deal and a half. You know that he will never need to work again in his life after this if he doesn't want to.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's earned the right to just kind of be like, well, let's do whatever. And I'm more interested now in the potential for him to branch out from that.
Yeah.
I don't need to see Grown Ups 3, but I would be interested in seeing something like this. I do have some interest.
Yeah.
Especially if this comes off as being something quite successful, then it's kind of like, oh, well, hey, maybe Adam Sandler pops up in a John Wick. Oh my God.
Not him as John Wick.
No, I'm imagining that right now.
No.
Could you imagine?
No, he's not John Wick.
I mean, that's you could go back to, like, he's speaking of Bulletproof, going back to that kind of like slightly more, not adult is the wrong word, but with a little bit more of a mean streak,
It's an edge
to it.
Yeah. Because in this trailer, he looks like he's up to no good. Like he's doing some very things that are wrong. Like he's not the guy to do the right thing.
No.
Yeah.
No, absolutely.
Which we'd be totally interested in watching.
Yeah. So it's already played some festivals and has been received pretty well. Yeah. So and the reviews, the reviews that are up at this point are all glowing.
Glowing. Okay.
So
glowing. That's they're not good. They're glowing. That means that it's good. Okay. I don't listen to reviews, but shit. Okay. Well, the trailer sold me. Whoever put that trailer together, fucking top notch, man. That's how a trailer should be.
All right. Well, you can tell me all about it because chances are you'll see it before I do. Uncut Gems.
Uncut Gems.
Should we move on, Nick?
What are we moving on to?
A Netflix original.
In the Shadow of the Moon.
That's it.
All right.
It's a normal, boring shift. Too much, Dad?
It's like a puncture wound. Boys across town just got 2 more bodies. Said both had some kind of mark on their neck.
Had 3 random victims with the times of death and minutes apart. Bodies are miles apart. How's that work?
Suspect heading west across Liberty.
Hello, Thomas.
What did you say?
Is this where it happens?
Today marks the 9-year anniversary of the Market Street murders and a still unidentified suspect.
Detective Lockhart, yes, hello. What do you mean it's happening again?
You guys gotta see this.
Philly PD. We've seen this woman.
Nice to see you again.
She gets torn apart by a train, and 9 years later, she's back.
She is priority number 1 for all law enforcement agencies.
You have to stop chasing me. I'm doing all this for a reason.
We're all going forward, but her. She's going backward.
You have no idea what's coming. If you kill me now, the world as you know it will end.
What?
Very good. We're back. Now, Nick, the reason why specifically I wanted to talk about this movie is it is from one of my favourite directors. I always get really excited when this director is releasing a new film.
Oh,
that is Jim Mickle.
Now I know why. Okay, keep going. Sorry.
What do you mean?
Green Room.
No.
No? What does he have to do with Green Room? Why has it come up that he's got to do something with Green Room? No? Director? No? Did he write it? No? He did something in Green Room. Was he in it?
No, are you looking at the wrong guy?
I'm looking at the wrong guy. Edit all that out because Nick just doesn't know what he's on today.
That's so good.
God damn it, Nick. Calm
Who
down.
are you looking at?
I'm looking at the same one. I've literally followed the stream down. Jim Mickle. And when you have a look like Jim Mickle, you may know them from... Why do I know him from that?
Is he? Maybe he's in it.
I think he's in it. Writer? No. You need to edit all
The
this out
director
now.
wishes to thank Jim. So he's in the thank yous of the
Are you
credits.
fucking serious? That can't be right.
Yeah, that's it.
That's fucking stupid.
I mean, they really should get rid of that shit.
That's very
That's
stupid.
one of IMDb's attempts to make it more immersive.
And that's why IMDb, I'm moving to Letterboxd, you fucking morons.
None of that horse shit.
God
no,
damn
Jim
it.
Mickle.
Jim Mickle. Sorry, Tys. Go again.
I'm going to leave all that in because it's
No, you're not.
It's such a great example of the stream of consciousness that we find ourselves caught in sometimes on this show.
Oh, God.
No, Jim Mickle is the writer and director of a few movies that I've really, really enjoyed. The first of which was Stakeland, which I've talked about on this show quite a bit.
You have.
It's a real favourite of mine, and that got me onto him. Basically, anything that he made from that point, I tracked down and watched. There is still his first film I still haven't seen.
Okay.
Mulberry Street.
Yep.
But since then, We Are What We Are, Cold in July, I've loved each of them.
Right.
He just makes movies that I, for some reason, am just all about. I watch them and I'm like, this guy makes a movie the way I like to watch movies.
Okay.
And he's now, given an opportunity to make what looks to be a real fucking head trip of a film for Netflix. It's like a sci-fi cop procedural with time travel and possibly like alien murders in it.
Yeah.
It's like Dark Angel. Remember Dark Angel?
Yes, I do.
Also known as I Come in Peace for our overseas listeners.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And it's been a while.
Don't you remember? Because the alien goes, I come in peace.
No, seriously?
And you're leaving in pieces.
Tys is all over that shit. He is all over it. So Jim Mickle, it's been a while since he's done anything. Did you watch Happen Leonard, the TV series he did?
No, because I couldn't find any way to watch it here.
Because Australia just bites the fucking massive dick.
Yeah, we do with that stuff. We really do. And occasionally I'll do a bit of a sneaky stream of certain stuff and find less than legal means to do it, but
nice.
It's with TV shows it's such a commitment, and it's kind of like, you know what, if I can't just turn on Stan and or Netflix and just go next episode, I find it really hard to engage in television shows. Also because if I go a week or two without watching one, I can never promise you I wouldn't be able to $1 million could I not tell you what episode I was up to. Never in a million years.
And do you know why this is? Because they've gotten rid of, we don't have any more because of TV. When we watched What is the TV show that you watched, Tyson, in the late 90s?
Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Okay. So Tyson watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer. This doesn't happen anymore. And for those people who only know Netflix as a way of streaming, watching television, this doesn't happen for you. You would watch TV during the week and you would see this week on Buffy, little ad, little trailer, little ad, little trailer, little ad, little trailer, and bang, that's it. And after that episode, next week on Buffy. Little trailer, little ad, little trailer, little ad.
Do you know what I thought you were also going to talk about?
And also, previously on Dawson's Creek. That's my favourite. We don't have those anymore.
Previously ons are the best things that TV shows ever introduce because it's what it did really well. Also, just to get you up to speed, was it would tell you what this episode was going to be focused about because it would give you the important points that you needed to know for that episode.
For the next episode,
so it wasn't just a summary of the episode prior.
Yeah.
It would go seasons back. And if this episode had something to do with this person, they were like, oh, but also don't forget 2 seasons ago they said this.
Yeah.
And you're like,
hence why
of course.
I think, did Game of Thrones do it? I think it did because that is just a fucking bag.
Did
of
it really,
cats.
or are you just thinking of all those like how Netflix used to release those season wraps before the new season?
No, because I was just about to start HBO. Just about to start the new season, and they put at the start of the season, last season on Game of Thrones, and they'd show you the plot points and things that we were talking about.
I wonder if they do that every episode or not.
No,
they need to do it every episode. That would be really helpful.
So I used to. So now when I watch something heavily into when House of Cards was a thing, heavily into Game of Thrones, and those two massively, I would Google or YouTube a season recap.
Oh yeah,
yeah, because you can't. Otherwise, you're lost.
No, you're 100% lost. What are we talking about?
How do we get onto that? Previously on...
What's this movie called? In the Shadow of the Moon.
In the Shadow of the Moon.
So Jim Mickle, yes. Directing this, starring Boyd Holbrook from Logan, and a couple other things. The Predator.
Yep.
Bokeem Woodbine.
Bokeem. Where have I seen Bokeem from?
The Big Hit, my man.
We're doing it. I'm telling you, it's going to be like an anniversary special.
Oh, it needs
We've
to
talked
be.
about the big hit.
Do you know what's going to be really disappointing? That movie's going to be real boring.
It's going to be so shit. It's going to be so shit. Like, it's going to be really bad.
It came up on another podcast I was listening to, and I was so
really?
excited because they had the same reaction. They were like, "Do you remember this bonkers 90s action movie called The Big Hit?" I'm like, "Yes, I do."
It was so insane. What has Bakeen done now? He hasn't done... Oh, he was in
Spider-Man.
That's right. He was Herman Schultz, for those who don't know. The Shocker.
The Shocker, yeah. Yeah, he pops up from time to time. I've always enjoyed his weird energy.
Yeah.
I find him, I find he's a really interesting screen presence.
He's not good. If your IMDb is Spider-Man, Riddick, The Rock, The Big Hit.
Oh, it makes his top 4 on IMDb.
Top 4, man.
Yeah, it does.
IMDb.
Love it. So yeah, this looks kind of like a real headfuck.
Yeah, man.
Real clash of genres. Lots of like, I'm trying to figure out if the time travel stuff was just editing in the trailer, or if that's how they're actually going to use parts of that in the film, as just have the film kind of reverse itself at points to represent what I believe is a representation of time travel.
I don't think, from what you've said, and because of how much you love this director, I feel like they wouldn't. I feel like this movie's got too much going on in it to put into a trailer to sell someone.
Yes,
do you think?
I think there are going to be twists in this movie that that end up telling you what this movie actually is. Yeah. And I think they're trying to keep it out of the trailers for the time being, which is great. Thank God for that.
Yep.
More of that needs to happen.
Done.
And that it'll be a slow reveal, and about half an hour in, it'll be like, this is what's going on in this film. Here we go. Let's go for it.
Let's do it.
And the thing about him is that I really enjoy, he only works on movies, none of the 3 movies that I've seen that he's made.
Yeah.
I know it's a bit of a grand statement to say that he's one of my favorites after 3 movies, but I want to just elaborate how much I love those 3 movies. Okay. Like, I find them each really exceptional.
Yeah.
But they are always about something other than what they're about. And that he does that really well. So you end up watching this movie, for Stakeland, for example, you watch this vampire movie, and it suddenly dawns on you that you are watching a movie that, yes, is about vampires, but is about so much more than that. True. Same thing with We Are What We Are. It's a cannibal horror film.
Okay.
Yeah, cannibal family horror film.
Right.
And as you travel along through it, suddenly it just dawns on you that he's interested in telling a cool horror story about a cannibalistic family.
But it's not his focus.
No, there's so much other stuff that he wants to talk about in those films. And it just, whether or not they're entirely successful all the time is less important to me. I think that the attempts at that are what I really like. Okay. And he makes them, he's got a really clean kind of idea when he approaches a film that he wants to tell. Mm-hmm. He wants to talk about things. He wants his thematic choices to be brought to the forefront. And I really enjoy that.
That's awesome.
So yeah, I'm really interested to watch this. Especially knowing, as always, this is my one big selling point of Netflix. I can watch it on my fucking couch whenever I damn well want.
The amount of times that you've said that, I feel like all our overseas listeners just think you're a monstrous fat man.
Yeah,
you're a monstrous of a man.
Or just a
which
lazy
is not true,
shitbag.
guys. He's thinner than me.
No.
Tys is looking good.
Oh, thanks, man.
He looks good.
Yeah, look, I get off the couch occasionally.
He does okay. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, get him behind a piano as well.
Yeah, all right. But I'll tell you what, as a choice, though, if I could choose...
to big up my man, Tys. You back down.
All right.
Yeah.
If given the choice, though, between being on a couch and not being on a couch, I think I'd choose couch every time.
Brainer, isn't it? It's a bit of a no-brainer there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But who wouldn't?
Who wouldn't?
Are we done talking about that?
And just on that last bit, if you send us some money, if you make it so that we are big, me and Tys could sit on the couch for a living.
We could do this for a living.
Please share our podcast.
That's it. That's our pitch.
That's our pitch.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
I guarantee at least 2 episodes a week. If it's a full-time job, at least. I reckon we can. We can do 2.
We'll do so much more. We'll do so much more.
All right, Nick, should we move on to our feature press?
Let's do it. Cool.
And now for our feature presentation.
Step over to the office and get the bullwhip.
A whipping? That's all they get after what they've done? Get out of there!
It was a matter of honor.
They're paying $1,000 to whatever kills the 2 boys that cut up Delilah.
In a time when lawmen were killers.
What are y'all looking at?
you English, Bob?
Outlaws were heroes.
Well, I thought that you were dead.
Hell, I even thought I was dead. Till I found out it was just in Nebraska.
And a bad reputation.
You're the one who killed William Harvey and robbed that train over Missouri?
Was as good as gold.
My guess is you're calling yourself Mr. William Money.
Say what?
You don't look no meaner than hell, cold-blooded damn killer.
I ain't like that anymore, kid.
$1,000 reward, Will.
Nobody's gonna come.
So you still have that Spencer rifle, huh?
Yeah. He's my partner. He don't go, I don't go.
What's it come 2-3 ways?
Just because we're going on this killing, that don't mean I'm gonna go back to being the way I was.
Are you really gonna kill them cowboys?
I do not like assassins or men of low character.
We ain't bad men no more. We're farmers.
You're a lot of savages! A bunch of bloody savages! Assassin!
Well, I guess they have it coming.
We all have it coming, kid.
Some legends will never be forgotten. Some wrongs can never be forgiven.
The man don't want to get killed. Better clear on out the back.
Unforgiven.
All right,
Tys.
This is very exciting. It's super exciting for me.
It's going to get a little serious in here.
Yeah, do you know what? I was watching it and I was like, oh, this is going to be one of those episodes where there's very little funny things.
It's not. Yeah, this isn't a funny.
No, there won't be giggles to be had. There might be some giggles. I'm sure we can find it.
I'm sure we'll find some. Yeah.
But to me, this is a movie that is so rich with ideas and like metaphor, thematic content. It's a movie you can write overflowing. A thesis on. You can write many theses on this movie. Yeah. Thesi?
100%.
Yeah.
Going in when I sat down to watch this, I was of the mindset where Sam went to bed and she's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, I have to watch Forgiven," and I said it like that.
Oh,
right. I was like, "Oh, I have to watch Unforgiven." Sorry.
I thought you got the title wrong.
No.
I was like, that's a far less interesting movie.
Exactly.
Forgiven.
No,
everything's fine.
No one's watching that. No. I came down. I set myself up. I got my notebook, got my tea, I'm ready to go. Yeah. And it starts off as a Western, as every Westerns do. It is, and I feel every Western needs to be lengthy. You need to feel what's happening. It's not then a Western that is action-packed fast doesn't really work. For
Texas
me,
Rangers.
Okay. Quick and the Dead. No.
I know
you love Quick and the Dead. That's why I brought it up.
Some of the older classic ones are relatively short, but that's because they were turning them over as like they were there to make a buck. Yeah. The ones that everyone remembers now
are lengthy.
Are usually a bit of a sit-in.
Because you get to know these characters and what's going on and things like that. So for the first 20 minutes, I was slightly nodding off.
Yeah, right.
Unforgiven hits a point, and then I was locked into so many of what you're thinking of. I'm like, this movie, no wonder this movie has done so well and is on so many lists of just amazing films. Clint has done something here that could only happen, and it could only happen after what we've had, because Unforgiven has been billed as the death of the Western. Western stopped after this. And they haven't really come back from the brink.
No, Westerns had to kind of change their focus after this, because
it can't be guns bearing, boom, 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 kill all the bad guys.
I will say because Tombstone was about a year later, which does exactly that. But Tombstone does it in a way that it's almost it's self-aware.
Yeah,
like it's actually it's going for the fences because it's trying to make a 90s action movie in the Old West. What I think you're referring to is that idea of like the John Wayne kind of iconic representation of Westerns. Feels wrong.
Exactly.
If we made a movie like that after this.
Exactly. Being in the West, being a cowboy, having guns, coming in guns blazing, all that stuff is such a romantic look at Westerns.
Yeah.
Whereas this literally flips the coin and goes, no, we're going to show you a different side.
Yeah.
Which was so good, man.
Yeah, well, it just takes the things that we probably took for granted when we watched Westerns and forces you to actually kind of reflect on your own enjoyment of that.
Right, yeah.
Like, why did we watch these movies and why were we so excited to see, like, it's kind of like the way we watch 80s action movies.
100%.
And we've kind of talked about this a little bit with when we did RoboCop, that whole idea that Verhoeven came in and kind of went, oh, if this is what you want,
cool, let me dial it up to 11.
I'll give it to you.
Yeah.
This has kind of got that idea of, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, we're hooting and hollering for the hero who rides in and shoots all these bad guys.
Yeah. But we're going to show you what happens to the bad guys, and we're going to put a name and a face to them.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're going to have to deal with that.
We never really think about who those bad guys are, and we never really think about who the good guys are either. Are they actually that good? Like, you know, you think back to these old iconic heroes, you know, the Gary Cooper and you know, the John Waynes and stuff, and you think about, okay, well, were they actually heroic figures, or were they just
they wife beaters and we just didn't know?
Yeah, Well, you know,
what I mean?
I almost guarantee that the John Wayne has a scene in one of his films where he backhands a woman for, you know, talking back at him.
Out of line,
yeah. So this is, I really love this movie because each of the characters are representations of different things that that shine a light on a different element of their
trope, like
the trope that they are.
Yeah.
It's not stereotype. There's another word that I'm trying to find, and I'll never find it now. That it half came into my head and then just went fucking sailing out the other end.
But yeah, you're right. Like, that's what this movie does so well. Like, and you don't. But the best thing about it as well is that it does it subtly. It's not in your face. It's just going to let you sit in there and stew until you realise what's happening. Like, Gene, I came into this blind. I didn't remember anything.
Yeah, great.
I didn't remember anything. I remember the start with him and his kids.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Right? And so riding off and finding Morgan Freeman and seeing the Gene Hackman character, and the first time we see him with what is the Englishman?
English Bob. Had we met Gene Hackman before that in this? Isn't there? Yeah,
I think there's one. Yeah.
No, we'd say we'd met him in the same way.
But you don't. English Bob is where you see the turn, and you're like, oh fuck, okay, I see what happens here, you know, and you get that turn of Hackman's character.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I feel like we're jumping a bit too far ahead.
No, that's okay.
Move back a bit.
So it's a hard play. Where do we start on this one?
Where do you start? Exactly. Well, let's start with Clint's character. Do you want to start there?
Will Money. I love this character. This might be one of my favourite cinematic characters.
Yeah.
I love it because it's such a, like, it's the antithesis of all the things that we think about when we think of a Western hero.
Yeah.
Like, he's so full of shame and regret and, like, remorse and yet...
And guilt.
Yeah, and guilt.
A lot of guilt.
Yet it's found a way to be compassionate and, like, wants to redeem himself. Has so much, like, drive to be the person that his departed wife saw in him.
Yeah, and he sticks to that like glue. Like he no, I don't do that anymore. My wife, you know, she helped me through that, and you know, she's gone now, and I'm going to still stay that person even though she is gone.
Yeah,
you know?
But even through all that, you can see you do see the killer underneath that.
Oh, 100%.
Like, just in little moments here and there.
When he turns back, I'm like, oh, when he's in Morgan Freeman's house and he just turns, and I'm like, oh, okay. You could kill everyone in here. Okay.
Yeah. But you're right. It's the certain lines of dialogue. Like, I think when he tells the story about the kid who he's blew the teeth out the back of his head. I love that scene. I love it because it's so matter of fact in the way it's just hey, do you remember that kid? I shot him and his teeth came out the back of his head. Yeah. And the way he's just I think about that kid, and I'm like, of course you do. We don't put memories in our heroes.
No.
They shoot a bad guy and go to the saloon and do a shot, and we're off. Yeah. We're having a good time.
Yeah.
Just that moment of saying, yeah. God, that guy actually is forever in my head because I saw some gnarly shit and I did that to him.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the way he's I don't even remember what he did. I woke up, you know, sober and was like, I can't remember why I killed him.
Yeah.
You know, like just that.
Fucking hell.
It's such a great way to show a character that that is fighting so hard to earn his redemption. Just by having a simple little story like that. So and we can see just how terrible he was. I love it.
So good.
I think his performance is incredible too.
I think it's great. I think it's spot on. You're getting the grizzled. One of the best things about it, and for a lot of people who maybe didn't watch many westerns, who haven't seen the Sergio Leone and all of those spaghetti westerns that haven't. You're kind of going to miss. The other reason I haven't seen a lot of them. I've barely seen any.
I haven't seen any of the spaghetti westerns, but I've seen a few. No, I haven't seen any of. I've seen a few Sergio Leone movies, but I haven't seen any of the Clint Eastwood spaghetti trilogy. The Dollars
I haven't
trilogy.
seen any of them. But you'd have to it's going to be so much more poignant, this movie, after seeing those. We know that because we know what it's coming after and what he's doing.
Yeah, I'd say that you can probably these aren't as related to what Unforgiven is doing as much as his American Western output. I think that's a bit more. Sure. In line with what he's talking about, because he has tried the spaghetti westerns. I feel like they're a totally different bag. I feel like they're kind of like they're pulp westerns. Like
There was a flash, and they were making the cash. It was what was hot.
They're very like they're flamboyant and showy and like incredibly like Once Upon a Time in the West is fucking so good. Yeah. But it's not. Yeah, it's a totally different kind of feel to a Hollywood western. I think if you look at some of his early Hollywood stuff, I think you find a bit more. See, it's funny because the progression towards this, it didn't come out of nowhere. I feel like when I watch things like Pale Rider and Outlaw J.C. Wales, there's elements of this kind of
sneaking in already. Okay.
Sneaking in already, yeah. He was already trying to kind of turn the Western around and say and look at it from a different point of view.
Yeah.
To a lesser extent, absolutely. But there are elements of it in there.
Yeah.
So this is like the full encapsulation of that idea. But he had been slowly drifting that direction already.
Okay. Because I think there's so many. There's like 5 main standout scenes in this. The whole thing is beautiful. 5 main standout scenes that you see, and what I was going to say before, coming off the back of those Western movies. At the start of this movie, you think, oh, yeah, this is just going to be another, bang, 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 bang. We're going to find the bad guys and kill them. You would think that. That's great.
Yeah.
Him getting on his horse for the first time and he falls off, and it's a good. He milks it. He milks that section like really well. The fall, he can't get on. He tries again. He can't get on. Like you're like, okay, well, this is summing up the character of what you're about to see. He's a grizzled, old cowboy.
Yeah,
like he doesn't do that shit anymore.
No,
he's never ridden. He hasn't ridden in a while, and so it sets it up so well. The other next poignant part for that character for me was when they finally catch up to one of the guys, and he shoots him, and he shoots him in the stomach.
Yeah.
And if you shoot someone in the stomach, it's a long in movie length, so I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
It's a long death.
Yeah.
He's not going to die quietly, and it's not going to be quick. And they just sit and they deal with it. They're undercover, and you're just hearing this poor guy die.
Yeah.
And it's the shout out for water.
Yeah,
that he
they're getting some goddamn water.
Yeah, can I have a glass? Can I have some water, man? I'm dying.
Yeah.
That is a heavy scene. It's
that scene, that is probably. Oh, no, look, the last 10 minutes are my favorite scene of this movie. Because we'll get to that in a second because it is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
But I love that scene because it's in any other film it would be this glamorous shootout and
slow mo, and you're going to see this guy just get blown away. And that's it.
And those guys would be. Assholes, and it'd be, you'd feel no remorse because finally, but it's shot in a way that it's so boring, like for what's happening.
Yeah,
it's like they're just sitting behind a rock, just having it. They shoot, miss, reload. There's no pace. There's no urgency.
No.
Yeah, there's that element that if he gets behind the rocks, you won't be able to shoot him, but there's no.
But still,
that's the closest thing to excitement in that scene, and I love that it's so dull. That it's so matter of fact that killing people is just.
It's not fun.
There's no fun,
and it's
no glamour. No,
it's not slow mo. It's not explosions.
Yeah, it's not Peckinpah.
It's not. Yeah, exactly. It's not blood packs or anything like that. No.
It's just a dude.
It's just a dude dying.
Dude crawling for safety because
die.
his leg's broken, and you just got to clip him in the belly and then sit and just wait it out. Listen to the poor kid die.
And I love how he shoots it because they have the higher ground. It makes everyone else kind of seem like they're in a really bad spot. It almost turns it so that... Does that make sense? It almost turns it so that...
I have the higher ground.
Fucked. Exactly. Yeah, no, not that. They're fucked. So they're kind of the innocents. Like, they could just pick them off if they wanted to.
Yeah.
But no. They just shoot the one that they're there for, and then they sit.
Yeah, that's it. I'm not going to shoot you. Give him some water. That's fine.
Anyone else, because we know what happens when we kill people. It stays with us.
And we've of course just had the Ned's kind of breakdown where he's he's realised that the time away from what he was doing,
killing people, has changed him.
Yeah, it's totally changed him. He doesn't have the appetite for it anymore.
No.
And look, it's such a great
scene.
Really great scene, and it really does kind of... I think the way that Clint Eastwood still manages to be able to do it, it's almost like because Ned can't, and he knows the kid can't.
Yeah.
Because I reckon he knows the kid is full of shit the whole way through.
Who? Oh, yeah. 100%.
Yeah, because I think he even says it.
Yeah.
He's full of... Doesn't he actually use those words? He's full of shit. When he's like, don't listen to the kid about splitting the money, he's full of shit.
Yeah.
I think it, yeah.
Yeah, he does.
So I think he knows that even given the opportunity, the kid probably wouldn't do it. And there's also the way he has to coerce him at the house, where he's like, go on then. Go on, be a big hero.
Yeah.
Go and shoot him.
Yeah.
He's almost doing it to save Ned.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To say, because...
He doesn't have to do it.
He's not going to make Ned do it.
No.
If he doesn't want to. So he's like, well, we're not here for a fucking haircut.
Exactly.
So
and he doesn't know how to use it. If
it.
He picks up the gun, he's like, I'm not good with this. I don't know. I don't use this.
Yeah.
You know, it's such a chore almost.
Yeah, yeah.
You know? He's like, oh, fucking hell.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. How good... Morgan Freeman?
Morgan Freeman's excellent. Great choice.
Good choice.
I've always liked the two of them together. I think they've got a really nice dynamic in this and $1 Million Baby.
I like fucking $1 Million Baby.
I didn't rewatch it, man. How long has it been since you saw it?
I
think the first time.
Yeah, no, I've never watched it again. I'm not going to waste my time because I didn't like it.
You didn't like this that much the first time you saw it either.
That's a good point. And under the same circumstances, like everyone talks about Unforgiven, and everyone talked about $1 Million
but no one
Baby,
talks about $1 Million Baby anymore.
Yeah, right.
It's the time as that kind of...
Do you know why? It's because because Mystic River is my Eastwood go-to.
Oh, that's interesting because I don't rate.
I know
Mystic
you
River
don't.
Very much.
You said it was depressing last time we talked about it,
but that's one of the reasons why I don't like it.
Like I love it. It's so good, and I think because $1 Million Baby came out straight after, I was fucking ecstatic.
Yeah,
I was like, oh my god, another Clint Eastwood movie. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be amazing. It's great. And I watched it, and it was a letdown. It wasn't Mystic River. Different movie. Different. It wasn't meant to be Mystic River. Do you know what I mean? It's a different movie altogether. But yeah, I love Morgan Freeman in this, man. He's great, and I love that he leaves, and I love that what happens to him. Like it's such a perfect thing to happen in this movie. Of course, he doesn't get away. Of course, he gets tied up because
100%.
He doesn't like. They don't. What I like as well is what happens to him. May or may not happen because he is black. Race isn't put into the lens of this film.
No, it's never really mentioned.
Never mentioned, exactly. And that's why I kind of like it as well.
Do they even refer to him?
No,
right. Yeah, I never thought of that. That's rare.
At all, yeah. And what I loved and why it's so poignant is because he is just another guy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's got nothing to do with the colour of his skin. And yeah, he plays it so well.
He does.
So well.
Morgan Freeman is incredibly sympathetic. He's also amazing at being a guy that, so when you see Clint Eastwood and you hear about what he's done, you believe it.
Yeah.
I look at Morgan Freeman in this and I think, no, surely not. Surely not. I don't think you were running with...
You weren't running with him.
William
you
Money.
You weren't running with this crowd.
As, his right-hand man, killing all kinds of people.
He was running with the crowd.
Yeah, but because he seems so, warm as a character.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's these little interactions that he has with the kid where...
He was the muscle. I reckon he was the muscle.
You reckon?
Yeah. Clint was the sharpshooter and he was the muscle.
Yeah, right.
That's what I saw it as. Well, that's what I see it as. Hence why when the kid aimed the gun at him, he stared him in the face and said, go on, I have a crack.
Yeah, yeah.
This isn't the first time a gun has been pointed at me.
Yeah.
You don't know what I've done.
No, you're probably right.
Yeah. So it was such a good, and especially you see it, like, I totally understand, especially because his home life, you see that he's changed. He's not, like, Clint, when he's at home with his kids, you still see a little bit of a cowboy who's still struggling with dealing with farm life, almost.
Well,
Morgan,
I think it's like a daily struggle for him is that every day he has to remind himself, no, I can't go and just shoot people now. This is what I do. And it sucks, but I made a promise to that lady in the ground. Yeah. And I'm going to keep it.
And I'm going to keep it. I have these kids to look after.
Yeah.
Morgan, you see him, he is changed. Like, he is a different person.
Yeah,
sure,
you're right.
I could go back to that, but I don't need to.
Yeah.
You know, I've put that book down. You know, or I put those guns down. I don't need to. I still have it. I could pick it up if I wanted to, but I choose not to. It's not a harder struggle.
Do you reckon they actually haven't seen each other for 10 or 11 years? Or do you reckon, because they're neighbours?
Yeah, they are neighbours, aren't they?
Yeah, that's the next house over.
I don't know. I think they haven't, because if they do...
And maybe it's just been a couple of years. Maybe they hang out every now and then, because the kids know who they are as well, because he says, if anything happens, go down to Sally's.
Yeah. Or maybe they have. No, because they talk like they've never seen it. They haven't seen each other in ages.
There is that kind of element where he's shocked to see him at the start, and that's kind of usually what you're reserved for somebody who it's been like 10 years.
Yeah.
And immediately Sally is like, get him the fuck out of here.
Why are you here?
And
I know why you're here. I don't want you here.
Even though they're neighbours.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, neighbours back then, like, it was...
I'm sure it was a pretty solid ride. It was probably half a day ride. But still, it's the next house over. So imagine you're at home. And it's like, I could ride 6 hours into town, or I could ride 2 hours to Ned's place for some sugar.
Exactly.
If we're out of, or, you know.
For some eggs.
For some eggs or some bread. Some wheat.
What did Ned farm? Because they were both farmers.
I couldn't quite tell. It looks like he lived on a lake or a river or something. So maybe he was maybe fish? I don't know. These are questions that I do not have the answer to. Okay. And that I don't think are super important in the grand scheme of things.
It was like, if he's going up to his house for some sugar, I don't know, what does he have? Does he have something? I don't know.
How do you farm pigs? What is he doing? Is he just selling them?
I think he sell one.
You buy a pig and then just get it fatter and then sell it again? Sell it on?
Yeah.
He's not killing them and cutting them up into like cuts of meat, is he? Yeah. Are they getting some delicious bacon?
Or not smoked? Do you like yours smoked? Okay, I'll get you the smoked one. He's been smoking for a while. Oh, God.
Are they cutting up little bits?
I don't know. How do you
pizza?
farm pigs? What do you do with them?
His job looks really shitty. Like, it looks like he's just got to keep moving them from a pen to the other pen.
He fell in the mud about fucking 10 times in that one scene. Oh, God.
I love that, like, they can legitimately survive where they are by just selling a pig every couple of months.
That's, I could never, when I see isolated houses like that, especially in this time, I look to my wife and I go, I would go insane.
Right.
In about a week.
We have the exact opposite reaction.
Really?
Yeah. I look at that and I'm like, bliss. As long as I had internet and television.
And television.
Yeah.
I would go insane.
And I couldn't watch like
way too isolated.
A horror movie. I couldn't watch like one of those horror movies where like the Strangers or something like that, where people just show up at an isolated house.
A house invasion.
Right. I'd be like,
you're not watching The Purge. Okay, cool.
Nah, none of that. None of that.
Watch The Hills Have Eyes. Watch that. Watch fucking that while you're out there. Go watch The Hills Have Eyes.
None of that. But I love it.
No, not for me.
Living off the grid.
I am the exact opposite. I look at Fifth Element and that jam-packed people on people, and I go, right there.
All right.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Bring that on.
I like that we have very different ideas about that. That's good. We bring something different to the podcast.
100%. What do you want to talk about?
Oh, look, we're jumping around, but it's fine with that. Let's talk about Gene Hackman for a little bit then.
Oh, Jesus. I haven't seen a good performance from Gene Hackman in a while. Well, I haven't seen Gene Hackman in a while. I
think that's the statement. Yeah, we don't get to watch many Gene Hackman movies. Well, he hasn't acted since 2003 or something. So Gene Hackman is so fucking good.
Yeah.
I love him in this. Absolutely adore him.
Yeah.
He's the way he pulls off this character that is so like deep down is so evil, but is able to play it in a way that he honestly believes that he's the hero.
Yeah.
Like, not like certain other crazies where it's like they're really like adamant that their cause is the right one.
No, he's not a Bond villain.
No, it's very different. It's like legitimately he thinks he is the good guy.
Yeah, I'm the sheriff and I have to take care of these people.
Yeah.
And it's my way or no way.
He's like, he's got this bizarre, like twisted righteousness about him, where he's so certain that he's doing, the right thing, and he's doing the town a service. And there's never, how you watch these. I think of I compare it to what he does in Quick and the Dead, where he has that outburst where he's like, "I've given you everything in this town, blah blah blah. I look after you, you'll pay me, blah 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 for your protection, blah blah blah." Even though, and he knows he's a scumbag and he's completely exploiting them. There's none of that in this.
No, but he's still ranting, almost.
Well,
do you know what I mean? Not to. No, but
he's not threatening. He never threatens the people of his town.
No, but he comes across as... I remember with... it's not Bill. What's the first scene that we see him in? What's happening?
It's when the prostitute's been cut up.
That's right.
And
he comes in and he wheels and deals.
Yeah.
He makes a quick deal here and there. Look, we're going to do this, okay?
Yeah.
We're going to do this, this, and this. 10 lashings. We'll deal with that. And it's because of the... main female sex worker who just says, that's it. Like, she's so strong and so comes in with, no, you can't just do it like that. That's not going to help. And it's because of her that he's like, all right, let's calm down. Okay, we're going to do it like this. How about we'll make a deal? And he's so shifty. It's not charm. It's shifty. He almost swindles the whole town.
Yeah, but you can argue that's
he's the best.
That's a very diplomatic way of handling the situation. You could argue that
from that scene,
he's avoiding more violence.
Yeah, because after that scene, you think, oh, okay, so this guy, you think he's okay. You think that, because when I'm watching it, I'm like, oh, he's all right. He's not a bad sheriff. That wasn't the best deal, but at least, there's no more violence, so we're not hanging anyone. So, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. And it's not until English Bob that you go, whoa there, whoa, and is it, when I was watching it, I was under the impression, is he doing this because because of what just happened with the cutting of the girl? Are things getting out of hand? And because the whole town is watching, is he kind of putting his foot down with, this doesn't happen in my town, and I'm going to show everyone what happens? Is he kind of making a spectacle of the whole thing?
That's 100% how I read it.
Yeah.
In that it's like,
or is this just
I think
him?
he's no. I think it's a
reaction.
This is why I think he's such a great character, because I don't think inherently he would be the kind of guy to just beat up a dude that came into his town.
Yeah.
This is his reaction to this is what he believes he has to do.
Yeah.
And it gets to a point where he's a man that is capable of certain things and that's what makes him an inherently evil character.
Yeah.
Is that there is a certain line that he crosses, that he's willing to cross, that I think a more moral high ground, like a character with more moral standards, wouldn't cross. But in this movie, we don't have any of those characters, which I think is kind of why I love it.
Yeah.
Is because everybody has kind of done some really shit stuff.
Yeah.
And who do we root for? Do we root for the one that is trying to make amends and is being driven to then pick up his rifle once again, or do we root for the one that is trying to just trying to keep peace in his town, but is taking it to further measures than maybe what is acceptable? You know what I mean? It's funny, their outcomes are polar opposites, but we end up rooting for the one that's actually trying to do the evil deed than the one that's trying to stop it. Which is amazing.
It's so good. And it's when you see this turn, when he kicks, when after the English Bob scene, it got me thinking, I was like, so clearly it's that scene that you go, well, clearly Clint as a director just knows what he's doing. He hands down he's got it all out in place, and he knows every beat of what's going to happen in this thing.
Are you talking about when he beats him up, or the scene in the prison when he's locked up?
No, I'm talking about the scene where he beats him up.
Okay, sure.
Because you're seeing the turn of Gene Hackman and this story unfold, and what the bigger picture is, so to speak, at this point.
Yeah, I'd argue that we Because, I mean, English Bob is not a good guy.
No.
Like, he's arrogant.
But he beats there's no need to beat the absolute shit out of him. He's almost dead.
Yeah. I don't know. Really? I get you. I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
But I'm saying as a sheriff of the town, it's his job to keep the peace.
Yeah.
This guy was here to collect a bounty on 2 of his citizens.
Yeah. If the bounty's out on them, there's no bounty there for a reason.
Yeah, but
he can't just take them.
Yeah, but his job is not to, like... He wants to try and avoid 2 of his citizens being killed and collected a bounty on.
Yeah.
So he sees the best course of action is not just to send Bill on his way, but is to make sure that if anyone hears about that, they don't come to this town.
Okay.
I'm not sticking up for it at all.
Yeah.
But I'm saying as far as, like...
He's protecting, and I agree, but
I don't see it as a turn, more as at the beginnings of, like... seeing the extent of what he's capable of.
Yeah.
I don't think it's like a villainous turn where it's like we see the true him.
Oh, no.
I see it more as like the beginnings of the kind of, this guy is willing to do some pretty shady shit to protect this town. At what point does it go past the point of no return?
Yeah. You don't think that Bob is past that point?
No, because Bob is...
I think a couple of knocks and maybe a bloody nose and send him on his way.
Sure.
He almost straight up murdered him by kicking him in the face.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
But I think the turn that I was talking about isn't the turn of Gene Hackman's character. I think it's the turn of the film.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Like, as an audience, we're seeing who is the villain.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it isn't these guys, because you think at this point that we're after these guys who cut up a woman, and that's it. An additional character is also Gene Hackman, who we may come across later on.
Yeah.
But until that point, we're just, it's a normal Western.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I mean? Yeah, for sure.
And then after that, you're like, oh, Clint Eastwood actually, as a director, he's saying this is something different.
Yeah.
This isn't normal.
Yeah. I agree with you. Here's something to think about as well.
Yeah.
If Gene Hackman was the hero that he thinks he is, we'd probably applaud that scene.
Yeah.
If an outlaw came into the town wanting to collect the bounty and his name was, what was his name? English Bob, and he'd killed hundreds of people and was known as being...
As an outlaw.
Yeah. And the sheriff in our heroic old school Western came by, disarmed him and kicked the shit out of him and arrested him.
100%.
We'd be applauding.
Yeah. It's not
without really anything changing.
Yeah.
Like, you could actually show that scene almost exactly as it is.
100%. And you'd be cheering. But the thing is, like... You can tell that it's gone too far because just the faces of the crowd and how full on it is.
Yeah,
and how quiet that town is.
And I say this like you would have to change obviously the brutality of the violence. But imagine if you put like a heroic score underneath that.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. Like, you know, we've seen some pretty, brutal violence from heroes before.
Yeah, 100%.
And we cheer and stuff.
Yeah.
It's anyway. That's just neither here nor there. But it's kind of why I watch those scenes and I'm like, yeah, this is a really like
so good.
I think Clint Eastwood is trying really and I think achieving it to really challenge the way we look at just heroism in action movies.
Yeah.
Western specifically, but really it can translate to other movies as well.
Yeah.
Like what defines the villain and the hero? Because in this case, our hero has all the history of the villain and vice versa.
Yeah.
And I think it's just really, it's so interesting to see how he's managed to turn that on its head. And also the screenplay as well, I should add, not just Clint Eastwood.
I just remembered a scene. The scene in the jail. I totally forgot about that scene. Jesus, that was
that is an absolute masterclass.
That's nice. That's a nice turn. You know what that reminds me of? It reminds me, the tension remind me of the coin toss of No Country.
Yeah, good. That's a good comparison. Yeah.
Like there was no kind of, oh, we're fucked here. Like, you can't get out of this. He's going to do what he wants to you.
Oh yeah, it's such a great demonstration of power. That scene, it really. He is in total control of the events in that scene.
Yeah.
I love it too because it's basically like that's a bit of one of those thesis of the film kind of scenes.
Yeah.
Because it completely. I love how English Bob is presented as this like notorious gunslinger his life is so exciting that he has a biographer following him around. writing stories of his exploits, and Gene Hackman just straight up is just like, he's full of shit.
That didn't happen.
No. Oh yeah, no, he shot him, but that's because the guy shot his own fucking foot off.
Yeah. And he was drunk.
And he was way too drunk.
He was drunk.
Yeah.
He was drunk.
Yeah.
And he didn't know what happened.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, and that's, we've got, it's so perfect because the movie collectively is basically doing what Gene Hackman's doing in that scene to us.
Yeah.
We see all these characters and we think, we relate it back to other Westerns. And now Clint Eastwood is saying, no.
Because you're waiting for English Bob to pull out the 6-shooter and just whiz it around his finger while shooting.
Yeah, we're waiting for him to be what his reputation
precedes him to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas he's just this busted up old man.
Yeah, he's a coward as well.
Yeah.
The only time he even shows a glimmer of anything is when the gun comes to him and he's like, it's completely self-interest. Like, can I get away with this? No, I can't. I'm going to sit in this jail cell.
Yeah.
There's no heroic nature to him at all. He's not going to gamble it. He's not going to be the grand hero that tries and maybe fails. And, this movie collectively is Gene Hackman to us.
Yeah.
Because we associate all of this with, all the classic Westerns that we've seen, whereas this movie is essentially telling us, no, all those old movies, full of shit.
Yeah.
They are
100%.
the English Bob of actual Western, what actually happened.
This is actually happening.
Yeah.
This is how it happens.
Yeah. I also like how it's kind of how the levels of actual badassery in this are so wonderfully defined.
Yeah.
Like, English Bob has the greatest reputation, but is actually the biggest coward.
Yeah.
Gene Hackman is probably the next up,
Yeah.
but he's no William Money.
Yeah.
William Money, the one that through the whole movie is completely understated. You got the kid being all like, I don't believe anything about him. He's such a piece of shit. Like, he's old, he's crusty.
I've heard all these stories, but look at him. He's just
that's
fucking
not,
shit.
exactly. He's just an old coward of an old man
who can't even get on his fucking horse.
But when William Money turns up, he is legitimately the fucking baddest dude that ever lived.
Yeah, because the whole room stops.
Yeah,
he's like, let's see what you.
And
got.
you see it, and he. I don't love the biographer role. I think if there's anything in this movie that and the acting of the kid, I'll say I think the kid actor is not great. I don't like him.
You didn't like him?
I just feel like he's a bit.
Him. I think he does.
It's really external from him. I don't believe his piss and vinegar for 1 second. You know what I mean? I would have liked it if his persona that he's putting on as being this outlaw kid, this
gunslinger.
Yeah, I'm such a badass gunslinger. I would have liked it if that was sold a little bit stronger, so that when it's revealed that no, I'm full of shit. To me,
you want him to be a little bit more gunslingery.
No, not necessarily gunslingery. I think his performance is a bit. It's selling the reveal.
Yeah.
From day dot.
Okay.
Like, because as soon as he delivers line, I'm like, no, you're a little piss bag. You're gonna, you know what I mean?
Shit.
You don't know what you're talking about. Yeah. I feel like if he came in with just a little bit more kind of control over that, and we gradually reveal that, because when he says, "Yeah, I've killed five people," I don't believe that for a second.
No, that's true. I don't believe that either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it would have been nice.
And even him going into the story of one guy was a Native American. Was it Native or Mexican? I still don't believe him.
No,
you're right. Yeah.
So even if they didn't believe him, but we were kind of on the fence about it, I feel like it might just be a bit more of an impactful reveal. I just don't really love.
Okay.
I
don't mind it. He's a necessary.
He is necessary, and so I get over it.
Yeah.
And I like what he represents because he's the one that's affected by. He's the most affected by the mythology.
Yeah.
And so we basically, it's the same thing. What I was saying before, we get to see the theory, what am I fucking trying to say? The thesis of the film through him.
Through him, yeah. Because essentially he is, and I would have preferred, even if he was a little bit younger.
Maybe a bit younger, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because what the story is taking is all those young boys and girls who strap on the belt when they were little, played cowboys and Indians, and shot up a bunch of people. And that is him, and it's getting to the point where they've put the little boy or girl into that's grown up watching westerns, put them into the movie and gone, this was what would actually happen to you.
Yeah, sure.
Do you know what I mean? So making him younger.
How old is he meant to be, do you reckon?
He looks 20. He looks 25.
Is it just because it's because he looks a bit older? Yeah, he's got.
Do you know what I mean?
He's got a youthful face, but there's something.
Especially because back in that day, you had teenagers picking up guns and doing that
so
stuff.
maybe an actual
Do you know what I mean?
teenager.
Because at 15 or 16 or 17, you have a job. You're providing for the family, whether it be your mother and father or your own.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. So he needs to be of a certain level where he's heard all these stories and he's going to make some coin.
Yeah.
You know, he knows how to twirl a gun. He's gotten good at that.
It's the one thing he's managed to practice.
That's it. You know, he doesn't know. What we needed to see was him try and be the badass. Him try and drink, try and smoke, twirl the gun, be the gunslinger, do some horse stuff or something where he's showing off in front of the idol that he knows about.
Yeah.
Even though he's conflicted with the fact that this guy doesn't even know how to get on a fucking horse. So this old man's full of shit.
Yeah.
So you know what? I'm going to take control because you guys are just old men.
Yeah, I think that's...
I'll do that.
Yeah, that's kind of what I think I would have liked for him to appear more capable.
Yeah.
Until the moment it comes to actually kill somebody.
Kill the guy, and I love that the guy's on the fucking toilet.
Yeah, it's such a
pathetic...
yeah, exactly.
You know, kill. Like it's nothing. And he freezes and he opens the wrong door. And it's so good.
It's such a failure all round.
Yeah,
like there's no.
And then it's whittled down to him just swigging from this whiskey bottle.
Yeah,
and I didn't mind his performance. I didn't mind it.
I quite like him at that point.
But yeah, swinging from the whiskey bottle, spot on.
But yeah,
because he says, "Yeah, I'm the gun's yours, the money's yours."
Yeah,
I didn't know. I didn't know. So good.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I think the idea of his character is exceptional and works really well, but the execution I'm a little bit. And I feel a little bit that way about going back to the point I was making before, the biographer.
Oh right,
because
you feel that his performance has been like
I don't know if it's his performance.
Because I've seen that actor in a lot of things. He's in a few things.
Saul Rubinek. I think that's his name. It's another thing where it's like I know exactly why you're there,
Rubinek, yeah,
but I don't know if the movie's better or worse with your inclusion. I can't really figure that out in my head. I think maybe this movie would be as good if you weren't in it, and to me, if that's ever the case, I'm kind of like, we could probably lift you out then.
The writer character,
yeah. I think. Do you know what I think he's there for?
Yeah.
Is just to have those jumps between perceived legend, like the perceived mythology of the Old West, actual Old West, and then actual legend of the Old West. Like, so because the way that when Bill Money walks in and you see him go, "Oh, I want to write about this guy now."
Yeah.
He's almost like overwhelmed by how powerful he is, and I'm like, yeah, I of course, but I get that. Just by Clint Eastwood strolling in that fucking joint.
We don't need you to be there.
I don't think I need him to demonstrate that further. Having said that,
I kind of like, and he also shows how strong or how powerful. It's another power step. How powerful Gene Hackman is.
That's what I mean. Having said that, if without him we wouldn't have that excellent scene where Gene Hackman proves just how strong-willed he is and how much he does not give two shits.
Pick up the gun.
Yeah, I love it.
Pick up the gun.
Yeah, pick it up.
And
so
it just stares him down like
gives a loaded gun to somebody knowing full well
you don't have the balls. Go on, so pick it up.
You're not going to get out of this one.
Yeah.
God,
that's good.
Yes. So what else have we got?
What else have we talked about?
Oh fuck! I mean, like,
can I just say while you're thinking about that?
Yeah.
When the kid is swigging from the whiskey bottle, I love that Clint is just standing there, just waiting for the other girl to come towards him. Is he reloading? No, he can't be reloading because they haven't shot anything.
Yeah.
And he's just standing there. And he's just talking to him like, yeah, that's how it happens. You'll be all right. Keep drinking.
Yeah.
Keep drinking. You'll be all right.
I think he even says to him, doesn't he? Take a drink.
Yeah.
Take a drink.
Take a drink.
Because he knows that.
Because he's been there.
Yeah. He's absolutely
He knows what's
been
happened.
There. Yeah.
The buzz that you're feeling is going to wear off. And a hefty load of guilt is going to land in your lap.
Yeah. I like how the we see kind of different driving forces for these characters through this movie. Like usually, and this is more of what we've been talking about already, but the idea that the hero is only really driven by money. Like it's not a personal vendetta for him until the end.
Until the end. Did he need that money? Was it really that bad?
Well,
like,
I think because they were getting sick, and so it's like, well, fuck, I don't know what to do now. What if this? Maybe I need this. I
need this cash.
I read something on IMDb that it's roughly with inflation, it's between 30 and 50,000 or something.
I saw that.
Which obviously, so split that's a solid chunk of coin.
Yeah, we set up for a while.
Yeah.
Which they would. Oh no, I'm thinking of something else. What were we going to say?
Well, so you've got Money who's he's driven by not a personal vendetta, which is usually the case in these situations, or like any kind of sense of moral righteousness. It's not that at all.
Yeah. It's not a wanting to live the life again.
No,
like
he's literally just like, oh God, I need some coin. Let's just get this done.
Yeah.
And you've got whereas we've got the prostitutes that are really driven by what is usually our hero's kind of drive, which is that revenge element. That like,
and you're actually backing them. You're feeling it for them. You're like, no, they deserve better than what they have.
Oh well, 100%. But I think this movie is really interesting because what sets off the chain of events is really not. It's not. I don't want to say that he's not actually that bad a guy because he cuts up a prostitute quite terribly. So he is an awful human being and has some real issues. But he's not. It's not the villainous turn that we expect from a movie like this.
Yeah.
Especially his writing partner, who clearly knows who's like, holy shit, what have you done?
Yeah, he tried to stop it.
Brings her the horse and says
of the decent breed. This is my best stock.
Yeah,
I want you to specifically have this.
Yeah, and they're so dismissive of it. It's almost like they've like in this life that they live, which is not a great life. They probably feel, I mean, I don't want to speak.
What else are they going to do though?
I don't want to speak for them at that time, but I would assume that there is a certain amount of inevitability to being in that workplace where you're just like, what else am I going to do?
Yeah.
It's it's either I could dream of running off with a rich gold digger or something, like an actual gold digger, not like the
not the Kanye term.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so there might be built up resentment into what life
prospect.
is.
Do you say
prospector? Yeah. Old prospector.
Old prospector.
Watch out for them coyotes. And so, I feel like there's built up resentment.
You are
in
a
their
stinky
lot
prospector.
Of exactly. And so it's almost like for them, they've chosen these two boys as their like target of their resentment. It's like that. It's the straw that broke the camel's back a little bit for them.
Sure.
And it's maybe not the wisest choice because if you look at the head prostitute, the one who's probably, I don't even think she's like a madame or anything. I think she's just been around the longest maybe, and the girls look up to her.
Yeah.
She won't have a bar of it.
No,
she's just like, no, anything you can do, this is horse shit. Even though the girl who's actually had her face cut
actually wanted the horse. I reckon she wanted the horse. You see that moment
where she's like, that to me
that's lovely.
Is a gesture that I find quite acceptable.
Yeah.
Whereas, yes, this guy has done this horrible act to me, but I know, like, with that horse, I could make a whole bunch of money without having to sleep with people.
Yeah.
And maybe that's not what she wants to be doing.
But I'd rather,
But the other one is so driven by the revenge of it that it's just completely dismissive. So we've got this really, like...
Frances Fisher.
That's her.
Is the head. And the one who wants
Rose's mum from Titanic.
Yeah. And wants to take... I know her because she's from The Crow. That's where I know her from. Yeah.
Who is she in The Crow?
No, not Frances Fisher. The one who wants to take the horse. She plays Sarah's mum.
Yeah, that's
she's
right.
in The Crow.
Yeah, and she's all drugged up.
Yeah. She's so good in that role.
Yeah, she's great.
Like, you get that. I feel that Frances Fisher's character is kind of leading the girls into, no, we need to do this because this isn't great and we need to stand for something and this shouldn't happen to us anymore because we let them ride us, but we're not, like she says, we let them ride us, but we're not horses.
Yeah. I'm not saying that their cause isn't just at all.
No, of course
not. They need to be able to work in a safe environment and not fear someone coming in with a knife cutting their faces up. Yeah. Those boys needed to be punished.
But I think that you're right in them making the killing of these guys more than just revenge.
Yeah.
It's a statement to
it's
them.
such a priority to them.
Yeah.
It's like, no, they need to be brought to justice for what they've done.
Yep.
Even though it's the people that they've chosen to be the recipient of this indignation that they have are maybe not entirely the villainous pair that they imagine them to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That guy seemed really nice, and I love that he's the one that gets shot.
And he has the most agonizing death really.
Yeah. The other guy just gets shot with his pants down.
Yeah, exactly. And he's probably a scumbag. He's, of
course he is.
But it's in the grand scheme of things, comparatively to Gene Hackman's character, who's more evil?
Yeah.
Gene Hackman is the sheriff who's protecting his town, who probably up to that point was very well respected. He didn't seem like the kind of, like I'm saying before, he didn't seem like the kind of feared sheriff. He felt like more...
Yeah, you weren't...
He was a sheriff and he had authority.
Yeah,
but you weren't...
You still did stuff in the town and didn't...
It wasn't like the sheriff's coming.
Yeah.
And when he walked down the street, people didn't shut the windows and,
blinds and
Yeah, he was just... So, but, comparatively, if we're talking about it, who is more evil?
Exactly.
It's great. I love this movie. I love this movie so much.
I love this movie.
Can we talk about, because
here we go.
We probably should start wrapping up pretty soon, I think.
Sure.
Can we
talk about the last scene?
The last 20 minutes or so of this movie.
So literally you get
amazing.
Clint Eastwood's character right in. What's his character's name again?
I want to go just back a little bit.
You want to just back a bit?
Because there's a couple of things I really, really like.
Uh-huh.
Which is when they find out Ned's dead.
Yep.
Right? So the realization from Clint Eastwood that he's responsible.
Yeah, he gets told
these choices that they've made up to this point has now cost Ned his life.
Yep.
And that's for him.
Yeah.
That's the moment where he goes,
okay, we're done. I'm
Will Money's coming out.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
And I actually really love that it's like, it's not alcohol induced. It's kind of like, do you know what it is? It's kind of like it's his super serum.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, all right, well, you want to see it? Give me some of this whiskey. And
you're going to see what happens. Can
it's
I have
like
that gun?
Banana Man.
you know what I mean? Yeah.
But it's not, I know it's not as simple as that. I'm sure it's more actually along the lines of he knows what he's about to do and doesn't want to be sober for it. But
but he knows what he can do sober. Like, he has to be a certain amount of lit in order to pull off what he's going to pull off.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because I feel that the scene where he shoots the guy in the stomach, holding that rifle like that and kind of a bit of shaky, a bit of, I've got to cock this back. Whereas a couple of drinks in, and he's back to where he was, and I remember this now.
He's got it needs to be
completely
cold-blooded up now to this point, and I think and no hesitation, nothing, and he knows that he won't be able to do that unless, he's half cut.
Yeah, just a little.
Yeah. Oh, he's pretty. He finishes that bottle.
He does, doesn't he?
Yeah,
yeah.
I'll tell you what, I wouldn't be able. Yeah, he throws the bottle on the ground in the rain. I think it had like a little bit left down the bottom.
No, it had a fair swig. Like the kid only.
The kid had about a quarter of it to half, and then Clint had the rest, except for the
half.
Yeah. Fuck. Tell you what, man, I can't do much when I'm half a bottle of whiskey down. Dude, I'm sitting on a couch. Speaking of couch sitting,
lightweight. I'm the biggest lightweight.
I'd just be
alcohol is not my
give me some pizza.
Exactly.
I'm going to play some fucking PlayStation badly. I'm not going
Why
on
am
any.
I running into this wall? Why
I'm not having any gunfights.
Fucking hell.
Jesus.
Yeah, no, seriously. Right?
Yeah, but I just love the represent, because there's no moment where we as an audience like there's not a look, or there's not like a music cue where it turns and it's
slow.
like, oh, it's on.
Yeah.
You just see him grab the bottle and he takes that first swig.
And he's still listening to the story.
And he's
that's
listening
the thing.
to the story.
And he's taking it all in, and
And we just know. We know from the moment that he's taking the drink, it's like, oh shit, this is
you
is
guys
it.
are all dead. This whole town is dead.
I love. There's a lot of this movie is about storytelling as well. I found like the way we built up the mythology of the West, and I love that Ned's last words were basically telling Little Bill, "You are fucked," which I love.
Yeah, 100%.
I think it's amazing because it's like, because he basically, in order to spill the beans, because. It's funny because he was being tortured, trying to make up fake names, trying not to sell out. Clint, does,
and then
but does it in a way.
Okay, you want to know who you're fucking with?
You want to know?
You want to know who you're fucking with? Okay, well, let me lay it out for you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is the guy. This is the guy.
This is the guy. The guy that you've heard of that I know you have.
Yes, exactly. Everyone wants to know who the baddest guy in the West is.
Yeah.
Well, now he's coming.
And guess what? You fucked up.
And yeah, you fucked up bad. So I'm gonna shuffle off now.
Yeah,
and I'll see you in hell.
And cue the nighttime and the rain, like at the most spot on moment. Like it's almost a little too much, but it's perfect. It's so perfect.
Oh well, because it's iconic.
It has to
be. It's like they're making it the standoff, the great gunfight. The stranger rides into town to avenge the death of his best friend. Like it's and it's so.
He's got all the lines too. Like you just shot an unarmed man. Well, he should have armed himself if he's going to display my friend out the front of his bar.
Yeah, exactly. But this is the thing. This is the thing as well, and like that is such a great exchange of dialogue because Gene Hackman thinks that is a cowardly act.
Yeah.
That is a hideously cowardly act.
Yeah.
You basically said, who owns this bar? Skinny.
Boom!
Skinny comes out and goes, yeah, this is mine. I bought it from this guy a year ago. And just blows him away. To Gene Hackman, that is a cowardly act because he was an unarmed man.
Yeah.
But on a moral standpoint, why?
Yeah.
He's a piece of shit because he allowed... and this is the thing, we see it. It's, I'm sorry, I'm jumping around a little bit, but I just fucking love this movie so much.
I'm on it. Yeah, keep going.
It's the text.
We're all on the train.
It's the text that they put at the start and the end of the movie.
Oh, right.
The fact that the mother didn't know what she saw in William Money.
Yep.
Nobody else except the audience knows what anyone sees in William Money.
Yeah.
So for them, he is a
piece
low down, fucking nasty piece of work.
Yeah.
But we know differently. So, Gene Hackman's there saying, you are a cowardly son of a bitch. And it's just like, no.
And then, hang on a minute.
He's actually avenging something. And it's just, I fucking love this movie.
It's great. It's great.
So good.
And that's the thing, like on so many levels. It's not just a standoff either at the end. Like there's so many different levels of the culmination of that scene coming to an end. And like you've said, like we're seeing it in all different aspects of different things. Like if we were to see it on the flip side from Gene Hackman's point of view of this movie, it'd probably be different. It's he's the hero.
Yeah.
He's doing well. He's helping everyone out. He's protecting everyone.
Exactly. It'd be like a tragic death of our hero.
Yeah,
because
100%. Yeah.
I like that he's like, anyone that doesn't want to get killed, just fuck off.
Yeah.
I'm not interested in killing people that don't want to be killed.
Yeah.
Like,
this is your one chance.
That's it. Get out of here.
Yeah.
But I especially like that if they chose to stay, it's like there's no remorse then.
No.
You've made the choice. Because there's the guy who starts kind of moving towards the end when he's on the way out and he just fucking blows him away on the way through.
Yeah. And I love how, like, he has a double barrel shotgun, or is it the Stinger that he has? He doesn't have Morgan's gun.
No, he doesn't have the rifle at that
barrel.
point. It's a shotgun.
So he has two shots with this thing. He blew Skinny away.
Yep.
No, it can't be. Oh no, because he 6 shooters the rest, doesn't he?
No, he doesn't kill anybody else until after the shotgun backfires or misfires.
That's right. And
Skinny
then
gets one. He's aimed up
one.
on Gene Hackman.
Yeah.
Bill.
It misfires. And then he 6 shoots the rest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And I love. I mean, there's so many great pieces of dialogue in this, but the luck had nothing to do with it. Oh, I've always been lucky when it comes to killing.
Yep.
And he even films it that way because it's one of those scenes where you're like, how did he dodge all those bullets? How were these guys so terrible? He
literally had luck on his side. He missed, like, they are bad shots.
Yeah.
You're not standing that fucking far away from them, guys.
He's not even skillful. Like,
he doesn't do it fast. There's no twirl. There's no jazz to it.
No.
He's literally just like, bang,
He's just able to make the choice at the right time that keeps him alive.
Yeah. And doesn't he say something before that to the kid about how to shoot? Isn't there something like you let go and breathe and then release? There's something. There's a dialogue that he has with him about someone would shoot at me, but they're too fast to draw out. They're thinking about how fast and how slow, whereas I'm relaxed. I'm calm,
sure.
And I know what I'm doing, and bang, I've got him.
Yeah, well, I don't remember that bit.
I'm pretty sure I remember.
I feel like
there's this monologue or something like that.
Yeah.
But you can see that has happened. Everyone else is kind of grabbing and oh fuck, we're in a gunfight.
No, it's Gene Hackman, isn't it? Gene Hackman that says that.
Is it Gene Hackman?
Because he talks about being faster or something, and it's like no. Yeah, no, it is because he's talking about how somebody was too quick and missed, whereas he's he makes sure he doesn't
know what's happening.
Yeah.
He's got it in front of him, which works so well in this scene.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So good.
And yeah, we get this, like...
And I thought, having watched this, like, this is still my first time. Even though I've already seen it.
Yeah,
this
sure.
is the first time already. I thought he was going to die in the street. I thought, no. Some asshole is going to pick him off while he's walking in the rain. And I was so glad that no one did.
No, that's
so
how it works.
glad.
I love, like...
I was like, no, you're not...
The way he just basically says...
He just walks out slowly.
If I hear anything about this place, I'm coming back and I'm going to kill all
I will
of you.
fucking kill you all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And bury Ned, you jerks.
Bury Ned properly.
Yeah. It's so good. And look, he's, you know...
I would have taken Ned.
The gene... Yeah, maybe.
I would have maybe taken Ned.
I get what you're saying, but maybe he just had to... It was like...
Give him back to the wife. Come on, bury him in his house,
maybe.
you know?
Maybe.
Slump him over the back of his horse and take him back for the ride. God damn, what a good movie.
And of course, the great death of... The actual death of Gene Hackman, where it's just basically... It's both men just accepting the fact that they're... You know, Gene Hackman's like, I don't deserve to die this way. Whereas that's the culmination of his belief system.
Yeah.
And we're all kind of like... Well, why not, man?
Yeah.
You're a
sheriff in a town, and
you're as deserving of this death as anybody else.
Yeah. Whereas on Clint's side, he's like, there is no one who deserves this more.
No, I don't know. I'm not sure if I get that from his delivery.
No,
I get the
it's kind of the end, isn't it? He's like,
to him, he's just kind of like, it's just the way it goes, man. That's the way I feel like he's delivering that line. Like, it's not about deserving. It's not about being the good guys and the bad guys. It's just, these are your actions. These are the consequences. This is how this has turned out. You may or may not deserve it. This is what you're getting. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I read it as.
Yeah.
I think, because I don't feel that hatred in him. I feel like...
He's done a job. He's no. I've revenged my friend and you're going to die because you have to die.
And the acceptance...
But I don't feel anything from it. You're just another face to me.
Maybe,
sort of thing.
Yeah, that kind of... But, well, and there's that vibe of, like, when he's like, I'll see you in hell. And he's just like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, fair deal.
Yeah. He's accepting the fact that it's like, I'm willing to sacrifice my chance at redemption to make sure that you get yours.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's fucking great. Yeah. Like, it's so good. I love so many elements of this movie. You can't get a better ending than that. No, it's super strong. Super duper strong ending because it sums it all up really nicely. Yeah. He gets to have his life. The text is beautiful. The text always gets me. It makes me feel really emotional.
The text at the start and the beginning?
Yeah, and the one at the end as well.
Yeah.
Where it's like, you know, there was nothing there that demonstrated, that made her understand why this woman married this terrible...
And he just goes back to
terrible
farming,
reputation.
Like, yeah.
Or they move and he
Do
becomes...
they move?
What does he say? He sells like cotton shirts or something.
Right. Moves away.
Shirts. No, he goes into...
a tailor. No, he goes into town, doesn't he? He goes into a town.
And I think he sells stuff. I don't know. Because I don't know about you, even though he's not a, you know, he's not meant to be a good guy, William Money. I still find him like a completely empathetic, like I 100%. Empathize with him so much as a character.
100%.
I'm on his side 100%.
And you're supposed to. You see his kids.
Is it just because we want people to, like, as an audience, we like it when people change and have the capacity to change? The fact that he wants to, and he has worked so hard in order to be a better person, that we are like, good on you, man.
Yeah. I think it is. It's similar to the underdog story.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. Would it be different if we saw his past? If we saw the things that he's done?
Yeah. Maybe it's... I mean, maybe that's a choice, that in order for us to be on the side of William Money, we need to only hear about it. We can't be witness to it.
If we witness it, you're putting
technically, though,
names to faces.
Do we witness it in the last 10 minutes? Do we see? Because that's what we're seeing, the legendary William Money in that last 10 minutes. And I don't know.
I feel like it's too wrapped up in revenge at that point.
Yeah, and we want the revenge for him as well.
Exactly, we 100%, because hands down, Morgan's character did nothing. He didn't shoot anyone.
Yeah.
He was there to support his friend, and that's it. And then he gets killed on the way back home. Not only that, he gets tortured. Do you know
that
what I mean?
sucks.
That's revenge coming at you tenfold.
Are we meant to feel like? Is it meant to be somewhat tragic? So when we see, because I'm going to be honest, I don't feel it when Clint Eastwood starts to swig on that whiskey.
Yeah.
And maybe this is me.
Yeah.
Maybe this is a bad viewpoint of it. I'm kind of rooting for him a little bit. I'm like
for Clint.
Yeah. I'm like, let's get it done. Let's do it.
This is gentlemen, start your engines.
Yeah. Do you reckon it's meant to be a bit more tragic than that? And it's meant to be like, are we meant to feel a bit more sad and that he's come to this point and it's now there's no other choice?
Maybe.
Is that just
you would maybe get like a scene where his wife is,
ghost wife
a little, just not saying anything, just an image of her.
Maybe just looking
like,
sternly at him,
on.
like, "Come on, get your shit together.
You're better than this. I know you're better than this. You've put this behind you."
Do you reckon those
Yes,
dreams, those fever dreams he has, are like premonitions? The fact that
I forgot about the fever
because he sees her, but her face is all covered in worms and stuff. It's a bit like she's gone, she's lost, she's going to be lost to you to a degree. Like, I don't know.
I think it's just dealing.
Yeah,
I think it's dealing with the fact that I don't know.
It's all just guilt, manifestations of guilt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And no matter how good she made you, you're still that person.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
One swig of whiskey and you're back.
It's funny how like I can be so like in love with a certain type of genre of film, which is balls to the wall action movies.
Yeah.
When I see a movie that deconstructs it entirely, yet still gives me a little bit towards the end.
And that's the thing. And that's what it does.
Yeah,
it really does.
I can
it?
do this.
And this is why I love. And this is why I bring it back to superhero movies for me.
Yeah.
This is what Logan did for superhero movies.
It's actually a lot of similarities.
Because you're getting the most badass. He has fucking knives come out of his hands.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, and it flips it on his head. It's old man Logan, whereas old man,
Old Man Money.
Old Man Money.
Do we like? Maybe I actually think I like stories about old grizzled
fuck yeah,
action
man.
heroes that go for one
Detective
last
stories, like noir films where the detective is well and truly, he's put up the hat. He's no longer whatever they are, whether it be a cowboy or a superhero or a detective. I don't do this anymore. And there's that. Oh,
excuse me.
There's that one thing that's going to bring them back to do that one more. All right, one more mission.
Yeah.
Or one more thing I have to do before I put this to bed. Finally. That's a good genre. What genre is that? Grizzled old man.
Grizzled old man genre.
Grizzled old man genre.
It's like
we get the grizzled old woman genre. You got that with the new Halloween.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And
yeah.
you're about to get it again with Sarah Connor in the new Terminator.
That's it. That's 100% it. Excuse me. Were you aware that this was remade in Japan?
No, I was not. Are you being serious?
Yeah.
Is that why there's so many? So when I look for posters I'm about to stay tuned to the Instagram, there's a hell of a lot of Japanese.
Yeah, in 2013, Ken Watanabe from Last Samurai plays the Clint Eastwood incarnate. It's the same film, except we're dealing with samurai, I think.
Yakuza?
No, it's set in the 1800s. So,
shit.
An assassin in Japan, yeah.
Nice.
Who is drawn out who has tried to put down the sword.
And it's called Unforgiven?
It's called Unforgiven, yeah.
That's decent.
They legit just straight up remade it.
Cool.
I think I'm going to watch that.
Okay.
I want to talk about David Webb Peoples very quickly.
Sure.
Because this guy...
What was the... You have to talk about a Dark Horse.
Yeah, I'm about to get to it.
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
So this guy's written some great movies.
Yeah.
Like Blade Runner, 12 Monkeys, to name just a few. A couple of not as great movies.
Fucking
you do have Soldier, Kurt Russell.
Jesus Christ.
But the one that I want to just specifically mention is also a movie he directed, which I don't think he's directed many films. That is The Salute of the Jugger, Blood of Heroes, whatever you want to call it. It's the movie, it's got Rutger Hauer in it.
Yep.
It's the post-apocalyptic kind of sport that is invented where they're called juggers. And the sport is about trying to get a dog skull on a spike on the other side of the thing.
What?
And they've got I am a huge fan of this movie, and I think it was produced in Australia or filmed in Australia, and there's a lot of random Australian actors in it.
Right. I remember the poster.
Yeah, I am a huge fan of this movie.
The cover. That.
Yeah, that cover is so not a good example of what the movie's actually about, but it's a badass cover. That's the big giant fists up on the screen flexing their muscles.
Yeah.
if you can track down this movie, I recommend it wholeheartedly. I really love it. But the problem is you got to be careful not to get there's a crappy DVD version floating around that cuts a lot of the ending out.
Right.
Just to not to give away spoilers, that DVD
Please do.
rolls credits after the final match.
Okay.
And makes it about the match.
Oh, okay.
Where the movie actually goes on for another 10 minutes or so after the final match, and that's what's more important.
Okay.
It's really bizarre mix of post-apocalyptic and sport movies, so obviously I love it sick.
Of course you do.
And I can't recommend that enough.
12 Blade Runner, Unforgiven. He's made some Lady Hawk. He made some good movies.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
He's written some good movies.
Not a huge output, but pretty solid all round, aside from a few kind of slight misfires, maybe Leviathan and Soldier. But they have their merit.
Still pretty good.
Yeah, he's pretty impressive.
Blade Runner. Who wrote the new Blade Runner? Clearly he didn't.
Wasn't it Denis Villeneuve? Didn't he write the screenplay as well?
Did he write it for it? Shit.
I had a feeling he did, yeah.
I need to watch more Blade Runner. It's the world that I would like to live in, yet I've seen it once.
Yeah.
And I've only seen the original version.
Oh.
Yeah.
You've got your tasty Blu-ray set up there.
Man. 5.
Yeah. Get on that shit.
I know, I just haven't had time.
Nick, shall we move on?
Let's move on. That was Unforgiven.
That was Unforgiven.
That was a nice talk.
I fucking love that movie.
That was nice.
If you have not seen Unforgiven, I thoroughly recommend it.
Seriously.
Especially if you've ever been a fan of the Western genre. Even if not, it's just a fucking great movie.
You'll love it.
If you want to just talk about the process of movie writing, I think there's some great examples on what you should be aiming for as a writer.
Yeah.
In this film.
You will have to, if you wish to stream it, just to let people know, because I think we should start doing this. If we do a review of film, we'll make sure that they can watch it. Unforgiven, however, and rightly so, you're going to have to pay for it at this point, but it's worth it.
Yeah. This is as a rental, yeah?
Exactly. You rent it or buy it, like $15 to download it to buy, but yeah, you're looking at under $5.
Yeah, and that's on iTunes, Google Play, all the regular places?
No, just iTunes. And
just iTunes?
Just iTunes and Google Play.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. 100% worth it. I'd pay for this. I'd hella pay for this.
I watched my old DVD of it, I did.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, no. No, you can rent it everywhere.
Oh.
Sorry.
Great.
Yeah. Oh, 4K, Tys.
Oh, really?
4K iTunes.
I'd love to see this in a cinema. I think if this ever turns up on Astor's, I'm going to have to...
I think it has.
I'm really going to have to go check it out.
That'd be a nice watch. Like a Sunday, midday.
Oh, yes.
Fuck.
Perfect.
Nice watch.
Perfection.
Tys.
Hey, Nick.
Yeah, man.
What did you watch this week?
Let's
plow our way through these because we've been talking a chunk of time.
Good. I like it. What did I watch? Wait.
Actually, you have to check as well.
Oh, you know what I'm going to talk about?
Man?
I've watched a few things.
Yeah.
I rewatched Far From Home, but I don't want to talk about that.
I watched Far From Home for the first time.
Yeah, I know. I saw that.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to talk about it because you might talk about it. And I'm not going to talk about... I watched 1922, Stephen King. Do you remember we talk about this?
Yeah, the Stephen King adaptation with what's his name?
Thomas Jane.
Tom Jane. That's
the other Punisher.
Good.
No, steer clear.
Okay. I really like the story that it's based on. I think it's
quite and that's the thing. Like while
really
watching
unsettling.
it, I was like, this is clearly hard to translate to film because I can tell by what's happening
I always thought
that there is a lot more going on in this film than the book would.
It is incredibly psychologically driven.
Yeah.
So I found it an odd choice to adapt as well.
So you don't get that. You don't get a lot of that. No, I'm going to talk about Tyson. I'm going to talk about 2007's Transformers.
Oh God. What inspired you to watch Transformers?
I remember it being really good. I remember when it first came out. It was great. It was funny.
Yeah.
It was badass. The CG was great. You know.
How does it hold up?
Look, it was still okay.
Is it still a good time?
Look, I had fun.
Well, I suppose that's all that counts. I'm kind of scared to rewatch it because I have fond memories of it and I don't think I want to ruin them.
It was before Shia LaBeouf. He went all weird on us. He did. He went all weird. He plagiarized and then... Do you remember that? And then, like... Yeah, it was weird.
He became like a weird experimental kind of artist.
Yeah.
And it became less
really
about
bad interviews.
Yeah.
Anyway,
but apparently,
I don't remember that. I want to remember the Transformers that I loved. You know, not that I wasn't a big Transformers fan. I didn't watch the 80s cartoon. You know, when I was a kid, I was more He-Man and Silverhawks. But I loved this movie when it came out. It was great. Rewatching it, still love it. It's just the shine is kind of washed off now. Like, you're kind of like, oh, yeah, it's all right. Like, the action pieces are awesome.
Yeah.
It's badass. You get a lot of great scenes. You get a lot of... You know, if you're into cars and stuff like that, it's just that at the end, it really does become a Michael Bay film. In the middle, because Bay's not good at dialogue. He's not. He has... And if you watch Armageddon, once they leave in the ship, it turns into a Michael Bay film.
Yeah.
It's one-liners, and it's only lines to drive the story. That's it.
Yeah.
You don't get any exposition. You don't get any... character development, anything like that. You're not serving it, you're serving the story, and you're there to be funny.
Yeah, right.
Same thing happens at the end of Transformers, especially with John Turturro and John Voight and those characters.
Voight. I forget he's in this movie.
Yeah, you know, you're just getting single-serving characters who, oh yeah, that was funny, cool, and
yeah, one-liners, and oh my god, look over there, there's a Transformer.
Exactly, and then you're coupling that with some badass action, which is great, and he does really well.
The action, I remember appreciating the action a lot.
Yeah,
is this the one where he dies for a little bit and Shia LaBeouf goes to Transformers Heaven, or is that's the second one? Maybe
I believe that's the 25th one.
Yes, good.
No, that's the 17th.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, 2.1.
Yeah, I'm still blown away by the fact that they made a movie that with Transformers and the Knights of the Round Table in the same movie.
Well, that's the thing, because I've started this. I am going to.
You're going to do it?
I'm going to watch them all.
God, yeah. I mean, what a fucking...
Because I remember...
a mind-numbing experience that would be.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to watch it because I remember everyone was so psyched for the second one. And all the way through the second one, I ended up screaming at the screen. I didn't say this. Screaming at the screen, Michael Bay... pan out. We can't fucking see.
Oh, yeah, no.
You can't see anything.
It's just metal crashing into each other.
Yeah, it's just a wash of...
There's a really funny Red Letter Media video where they set up 5 televisions. It might actually only be 4 at this point.
Yeah.
Because I'm not sure if the 5th one had came out.
Yeah.
And they watch all the Transformers movies simultaneously on these screens.
Yeah.
And it's madness. Like, it's interesting for a couple of reasons, because you notice how similar
they are.
Similarly structured they are.
Yeah.
But also hilarious because it's just nonsense. Absolute nonsense. There are scenes where you're just watching on 5 different screens, just explosions and metal just crashing around. And it's really it's really funny. I recommend that as well.
So good. But yeah, I wanted to watch Transformers.
So you did.
And I did.
And you know what? More power to you.
Yeah, man.
That's what I say.
What did you watch, Science?
I watched a couple of things this week. I've actually been relatively busy. Yeah.
Nice.
I'm going to just rattle through them.
Do it. Let's start off with Spidey.
I enjoyed Spidey quite a lot.
Before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's some really cool stuff in it. I think it's a lot of fun. I didn't love Gyllenhaal.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I was a bit disappointed by, because I'd heard he was really good.
Did you know of Mysterio before?
Yeah, bits and pieces.
This?
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
Cool.
I think he's good when he's trying... Spoilers? Can we give spoilers?
Yeah, I'd maybe just leave it.
He's good in the first half.
Sure.
I don't enjoy him in the second half.
Okay.
But yeah, other than that, some really great stuff.
I agree with that too.
Got me emotional at points. Like, I think there's some really nice emotional beats.
Yeah. Especially because you're dealing with the fact that, Tony's dead.
Yeah, and whether or not they're just cashing in on my residual emotional response to that, because they were the moments that got me emotional.
Yeah, man.
I'm like, well, who cares? It's still pretty effective.
It's a good one.
There's some choice of music in that really got me in the feels.
Nice.
So Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, it's great. I really loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You were kind of mixed on it?
I liked it. Don't get me wrong, I liked it, but it's definitely for fans of film. He didn't do this for anyone else.
Sure.
He did this for people who love fans of film and feet.
Yeah, there's a lot of feet. I think it's got some of his strongest stuff that he's done in a really long time. I think there's some sequences in this that are downright genius.
Yeah.
And then there is some other stuff.
Yeah, I think the Margot Robbie character could literally lift it out, and you'd have not a better film, just more fast paced.
Yeah, maybe
it's a little long in
pacing.
the
I'd be interested in a movie where Sharon Tate exists as a kind of a figure.
Sure.
A mysterious figure.
Yeah.
That we just build this this mythos around.
You get that a little.
I think because because she's in it to a degree that we lose some of that.
Yeah.
I will say that the last 20 minutes or so, 25, 30 minutes, might be my favourite finale. Because he has a tendency to make his last 30 minutes, shit goes down.
Yeah.
It could be my favourite. It could be my favourite. Even though it's probably the less happens in this compared to, if you compare it to the finales of, Django and Inglourious Bastards.
Sure.
Hateful
He's
Eight.
just getting massive.
Less happens, but I think I enjoyed it more. I think as a finale, it's just so great.
Yeah, it's very strong.
And God, I've never laughed so much at violence. I think I was in hysterics.
100%.
Oh, man.
It was good.
And the last thing I want to talk about is I watched X-Men Dark Phoenix.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
And it's really interesting because...
Hang on a minute. Just to back up a little bit, just to remind our listeners, you liked Apocalypse, didn't you, Tyson?
Yeah.
Right, that's
I like
interesting.
Apocalypse.
Okay, keep going.
I can respect the fact that it's not a great movie.
I need to watch it again.
But I have a very good time when I watched it.
Cool.
And I have since rewatched it, this is a while ago now, still quite enjoyed it.
Okay,
even though I think it's got a lot wrong with it.
Right.
I didn't mind this. It's nowhere near as bad as what people say it is. The problem with it is it just feels like... It feels like the season finale of the X-Men TV show, if there was one.
Okay. Did they know at this point that they were going to lose? That they were going to?
It's hard to say because I think that's what people are most disappointed by. Because for an end of this era movie, Logan is such a better representation of that than this. This just feels like a pretty good middle chapter or something.
Yeah.
Like I said, a season. It's probably got enough stakes for a season finale. The third season before, but just you wait. Season
finale.
4.
Season 4 is coming out next
going to be
summer.
a huge one. We'll see you there
next summer.
So it's
on
good.
X-Men.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
The storytelling I think is really good.
Okay.
The direction is not bad at all. There are some moments in it that I found really, really great and really well directed.
Who directed
Simon
this?
Kinberg, who is a producer predominantly, who a lot of people actually blame for a lot of the things wrong with the X-Men series.
Ah.
But I'm not saying he does a good job. There are some things he does very well, though.
Okay. All right.
And it's really grown up. It's really mature. It's dealing with shit. And Xavier's forced to fucking answer for some of his horse shit.
Okay.
People have to respond to some stuff and take responsibility for their actions. And I thought it was pretty interesting in that way.
Is the Dark Phoenix done better?
No. It's still a disappointing... Oh, it's better than Last Stand.
Better than Last Stand.
It's still a disappointing representation of that arc.
Yeah.
I think it could have... The thing that was disappointing about it is it could have been anything.
Right.
It probably would have been better being a different character turning evil, just for whatever reason.
Right.
The Phoenix-related stuff...
Yeah, has nothing to blip to do with it.
Yeah, it's kind of a bit neither here or there.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? There's nothing... there's no iconic story beats from the Dark Phoenix saga that make it imperative that it was a Dark Phoenix movie.
saga.
Yeah. But there's some other really great stuff in it.
All right.
Yeah, some action sequences that were really quite good and quite enjoyable. Okay. And there's also a guy that has dreadlocks that come to life. He can go away. He was I was like, now that's what's wrong with these movies.
Aha.
Yeah.
Look at this dickhead.
Nondescript mutants.
Right.
Who have the dumbest powers ever.
Oh, I love it. I love when that happens. Like the guy in Last Stand who has the Asian guy who has the spikes come out of his face.
It's like, yeah.
What the fuck do you do?
That's
you
really,
porcupine boy?
That's really useful if you are bear hugging your villain at the time.
Yeah, he uses his power once to kill a doctor. And come on,
yeah,
man.
Exactly. What are you can't do much else, buddy boy.
Mutant, man, you're pathetic.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you spit those spines out? No? You just eat ants? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Take it easy.
But yeah, I give it a solid 3 stars
out of 5.
Yeah,
okay.
There's definitely some stuff to enjoy in it, and it's nowhere near as bad as people were saying.
Okay.
But I see their disappointment because as a culmination of the series, it's pretty wet.
Okay.
It's just kind of like...
Nice descriptive.
Yeah.
I like it. Do you higher or lower than Apocalypse?
Lower, but just slightly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I think they're pretty similar. Their faults are similar. I think Apocalypse was a lot more fun in its execution.
I'll watch some X-Men. I think I will do that after Transformers.
If anything, it reminds you just how good First Class is CO episode on First Class. And Days of Future Past.
X2, man.
X2, what a great movie.
That's
Logan.
start, bro.
Like, there are some just
Logan.
incredible movies in that franchise.
You're not going past Logan.
Even The Wolverine, we always kind of forget about The Wolverine. Which
that's
I really
true.
like.
It was very good. Same director.
Yeah, James Mangold.
As Logan.
That's it.
Yeah. And maybe stay away from Origins.
Yeah, look, I mean...
Do you know?
This is how much of an apologist for this series I am. I don't mind Origins.
Oh, Tyson!
It's a bad movie.
Oh, Jesus Christ, man.
I know it's a terrible movie, but I find it really watchable.
Listeners, don't listen to him. He's drunk.
In a terrible way. Like, I can just sit back and if Origins is on, I'll watch it and I'll just be like,
oh, Jesus.
Oh, man, they made some really weird choices in this movie.
It's bad.
But also, Liev Schreiber, probably the best Sabretooth we ever had.
Yes, he is. But still, watch the Wolverine.
Yeah, of course.
Good start, though. I will give it that. Origins,
great opening titles.
Intro.
Great.
Nice intro.
Yeah.
Middle way through, shat the bed hard.
Yes.
I made Sam watch that. I made Sam watch Origins because we were going to see Logan.
Oh, yeah.
Logan had just come out and I said, I need you to know how bad it was. Because everyone, do you remember Wolverine after X2, everyone was like, we need to see a Wolverine movie. He got his spin-off. We couldn't wait.
Yeah.
We realised that it was PG-13 with a man with knives that come out of his hands. And we were like, well, this is going to be shit. And then not only was it shit, you made Daredevil out to be Deadpool out to be this freak of a thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's a complete waste of that character, of course. I don't know. There are certain bits in it that I'm like,
do you know what
I've seen worse.
Do you know what I was looking forward to in Origins?
Yeah.
I was looking forward to Gambit because Gambit is my favourite X-Men.
Oh, yeah, Gambit's a disappointment.
Jesus, that was bad.
Gambit's a real disappointment.
All right. Now, for
our next segment, which is Corrupting Times!
All right, let's do it.
Yeah, great.
What do you got?
So we're gonna recommend a Clint Eastwood movie?
Let's do a Clint Eastwood movie.
Yeah, sure. Directed by or starring?
Whatever
you say.
Take them both.
Whatever
I'm gonna start this one.
Yeah, go for it.
I'm going to start with everyone should watch because it is my favourite. I'm going to go, and I know that I've done it before, but I don't care. Mystic River. River.
Yeah, recently too. I think
what?
You did it.
Really? No, that's not true. Watch it on Stan.
On Stan, you say?
It's so good. 2003. You're looking at three boys who grew up in...
It's Boston, isn't it?
Is it Boston?
I feel like it's a Boston movie because they're all Boston.
It feels Boston-y.
Hey, Boston.
Yeah.
In the car.
And one of them loses a... They grew up together.
Mm-hmm.
They all... They know... Everyone knows each other in the neighborhood. It's very much that type of town.
Mm-hmm.
And... they all go their separate ways, but they still know of each other. Something happens to one of their daughters, Sean Penn's daughter. She dies.
Mm-hmm.
Spoilers. Find out in the trailer. And it's just the way that this town and what they do kind of deal with it. It's not a crime. It's not like a whodunit or whodunit or anything like that. It's more on how these characters deal with all of this. You get some beautiful character acting in this movie. And this is the movie that made me really love Sean Penn. I love Sean Penn as an actor. I think he's great.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
I'm
not
going to say that much. Watch Mystic River. It's not a happy movie in any sense of the word.
Oh, no.
But geez, it makes you feel it. It does, and I love it. And you can tell just with Clint's eye and how he just sets things. It's really full on.
Yeah,
really full on.
I should watch it again
because the ending and when you find out what happens,
yeah, it's pretty devastating.
And what is happening at the same time as they find out,
yeah,
man, you can't write a better movie. Mystic River, Stan.
There's a whole lot of acting going on in that movie.
There's a whole
when you're watching a movie and you're like, yes, there's some wonderful acting. There's also just a lot of acting. Like, I'm getting... Everyone's
a lot of acting.
Everyone's like acting
because you're getting a lot of people. You're getting Tim Robbins, you're getting Kevin Bacon, you're getting Lawrence Fishburne, you're getting...
all acting.
What is the name of the Laura Linney and...
Laura's Linney.
Laura's
actual Linney.
Yeah. Laura's Linney. And what is the name of... what is the name of her? God damn it. No. Come back to me.
Okay.
All right. What do you got for us, Tys?
I might have recommended this before, but on Stan...
Marcia Gay Harden.
Marcia Gay Harden. Yeah, she's great. I'm going to go with on Stan, In the Line of Fire, 1993, right. Wolfgang Petersen's...
Wolfgang?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's decent.
who directing the he's a Secret Service agent, was working not Secret no it is Secret Service. What are the guys that protect the president?
Yeah,
Secret Service, yeah. Was working on the motorcade when
JFK.
someone was when Kennedy was shot. Yeah, that's what so he was there on the day. Obviously, Kennedy
Grassy Knoll.
died,
Yep.
Grassy Knoll, and he's haunted by that, and he gets assigned to look after, is it another president? Or, yeah, it is the current president.
Yeah.
And gets caught up in a kind of like a Speed-esque kind of cat and mouse game with John Malkovich, who is going to try and assassinate this current president.
Watch this.
I really, really liked it when I saw it many years ago now.
Yep. In the 90s?
No. Like, 10 years ago I probably saw it.
Sure.
I still have distinct memories of certain scenes and like the tension. I remember being tense. So tense towards the end of this film. It's really... and Clint Eastwood is doing his thing where he knows how to be grizzled. Like we talk about, this kind of the character he's playing in Unforgiven. He knows how to be the guy who's seen it all so well and so effectively, but also the guy that you could believably, like, he was probably like mid 50s, mid to late 50s at this point. Jesus. I don't doubt for a minute that he should be protecting the president. Like
right.
You know what I mean? Like
right.
You just see him and you're like, you are a physical presence, but also he sells capability so well.
Yeah.
It's not one of his directorial efforts, but having said that, I always enjoy him as an actor as well, even though I think he can, some people might say he's a bit stilted at times.
I think great.
I really enjoy him. And so this is a great entry point because it's also like kind of like a typical 90s action movie. It's like your Air Force Ones and your Speeds. It's a little bit lower key than those.
That's right.
But still it has its elements. It reminds me of like Blown Away, but like but better.
Now you're talking.
Yeah. That kind of cat and mouse with the bad guy and the hero. That's just on Stan in the Line of Fire. Check it out.
Stan.
Check it out.
Check it out.
Next week,
Line of Fire.
Nicholas.
Next week.
So we're starting our Spookisodes. We've got some funny things lined up. Funny things? Funny? We don't know what we're talking about. Funny. We've got a couple of ideas. We're not going to give you all the ideas just yet. But we are going to tell you what we're doing next week.
Let's do that because we do know.
We do know next week.
We're going to go back to the 90s.
We are. Well, we like to start off with an iconic...
We're going to do
horror.
A classic.
Like something that just is like, here it is. I think in previous years we've done Friday the 13th and then Nightmare on Elm Street. So we want to do, what's that iconic? What is just something everybody knows, everyone loves?
Yeah.
Nick, tell them what we're doing.
We're doing Wes Craven's Scream. Oh!
We are indeed.
I love this thing.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
I remember the first time I watched this. So this was a preview tape. Video store.
Yeah.
Got home Friday night, put it on. My parents weren't home from work yet. I put it on. Me and my brother, who was 16, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He was 12.
Nice.
And put it on. Drew Barrymore scene. What's your favourite scary movie?
Yeah.
Saw the boyfriend get slashed on the patio. And my brother turns to me and goes, Nick, I don't think I'm allowed to watch this.
Yeah,
I was like,
nice.
Oh, buddy. Oh, sorry. And I turned off.
That's the way to do it.
Scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, this movie tortured me. This movie changed
how
my brain works, I reckon.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited to be talking about
Scream.
it. It's going to be a lot of fun. Scream 1.
October. Let's do it.
I love our Spookisodes, man. I can't wait.
Yeah.
Hey, Nick.
Halloween aplenty, Tys.
Tell the people where they can find our show one last time.
Thanks for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. Celebrating everything that is Clint Eastwood in our Unforgiven episode. If you would like to join us on other things, we are on Facebook, we are on Instagram, we are on Twitter, we are on YouTube, we are on Radio Public. Ha! I knew which one it was.
You got there.
So tune into us on all of those things, and you wish to like, subscribe, rate, review, all of those things, do that on Apple Podcast or on Radio Public. We would love for you to do that.
We would love you dearly.
Download the Letterboxd app. It's one of our favorite apps. We review everything on there. So if you do your Cluedo work carefully, you'll find out what we're going to watch next.
You'll always find out. Exactly.
100%.
Although I'm tending to leave
Tys likes
my
to leave
rating
it
until
after we do the recording. I don't. I'm all for it. So if you follow me, you'll know.
Yeah, just dead giveaway.
That's true. No, you won't know unless you follow Tys.
Because you won't know what we both watched.
Exactly.
Yeah, see, I'm keeping
I like it. So I am Nick, NIC _videotape, and Tys is TYS _videotape.
100% it.
Other than that, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, it's been a blast.
Do you know Clint Eastwood is 89?
I don't. I don't believe it.
He turns 90 next year.
I don't believe you.
Tys?
Good night, Nick.
See you, bud.
Bye.
Bye.